Okay, we have the green bars, we have the live counter sticking up, so it should now be live, which of course means welcome back to the Storytime Network. It is the Paradox Hour podcast, and we are here with... it's technically a 3-episode check-in, but it's more like a 4, 5, and 6 episode check-in.
Oh, we gotta do something to
Okay, you
pad out the bear.
you just
Kinda
started
melted a little bit there.
roboting there.
Yeah, you melted a
Which is
bit.
out-
Oh, Jesus. Can you hear me now?
Great side, yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Anyways, as I was saying, had to do something to pad out the bare bones of this season.
I mean, yeah, it helps. I mean, we are... God, we have so few shows, and yet I appear to be watching so many of them.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out. It was like, I don't have that many shows. I'll be able to catch up, and I'm like, I'm behind on like 5, 6 shows.
See, this is why it pays to be current on everything. Like a crazy person.
Yeah.
AKA me.
I was on vacation and I was sick, so I have my excuses.
I have
Completely fair.
I have no excuse. I'm just bad at this.
Don't worry, Mel. We're all chronic procrastinators about something.
Yeah.
I am going to promise to try and keep up in the 2 weeks between this and the belated mid-season. But obviously,
Yeah.
you know, I make no promises.
Completely fair.
Anyway, we should probably get started with our fairly truncated list. With the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You Season 2. Yeah, I'm still counting those reallys out in my hand.
It's a fun show, though. Like, so we've now encountered the 8th girlfriend, Mado May, who is, as you can see, a maid.
Very creative name.
I mean, yeah, at
All
least
the
she's,
girls have pun names.
at least she's consistent.
Who names their kid that? You've basically decided their fate from that point forward, dude. No one named Mado May is gonna be like an engineer, you know? Like,
It would be hilarious if that was the case, but this series runs on wacky hijinks humor, so...
yeah.
I mean, it
I
reminds
get
me...
it. It's just her parents were cruel.
I mean, her parents did abandon her when she was a child, so...
That's also cruel.
But yeah, it reminds me of a live-action show. I've not actually watched. I've only seen this clip of it, of some dude in the army being called Major Major. And, like, he's a sergeant, but he's called Major Major because his father was, like, a fucking joker. And obviously the army just assumes he is an actual major and, like, puts him on all these, like, important committees and shit. And he's like, but I'm only a sergeant. Well, you're not anymore, you're a major. We can't admit we're wrong in this one, you're a major.
I do love name puns like that. But yes, but yeah, part of the whole bit of May's introduction is, like, she's been a background character for a hot minute, but she hasn't actually technically locked eyes with Rentaro because her eyes are perpetually closed. Because she's constantly got that gentle smile going, and she cannot open her eyes because she cannot bring herself to relax her smile due to her devotion to her mistress, Ahari.
Right.
And basically, Rentaro gets her to open her eyes by cracking a joke that is indirectly makes Ahari seem come off as terrible pun maker, and that's when her eyes snap open, and they lock eyes, and the whole soulmate thing happens. But yeah, but before that introductory episode, there's also the food eating contest, which is absolutely unhinged as hell. Thank you. And yes, the character design is a bit different from the manga, but they do make the same joke in the manga. But yeah, basically, because the seventh girlfriend is a real hungry one, she's like, I wanted to do this food eating contest, and Rentaro and the rest of the family tag along, and shenanigans ensue. But each of them acquits themselves quite well, and they ultimately triumph. Yeah, it's a fun smattering of episodes, and very excited for the next few episodes to come along.
Cool. Let's move on then to Ameku MD, Doctor Detective. Man, I love this show.
Yeah, some crazy shit happening these past few episodes.
Yeah.
Someone's played Spec Ops: The Line. God.
Yeah.
That was a horrifying way to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. And God, I thought... So, Nmbr, you're obviously not in the Rabbit Discord anymore, but I posted my theory as to the cause in there, and I would have been so happy if I was right. I was not, unfortunately.
What was your theory?
My theory was bismuth poisoning, because it is also a pyrophoric material, and can cause very similar symptoms. Part of the issue was I didn't realize, or I didn't know, because I'm not a doctor, that the rash Murota had was purpura, as well as the fact that I did consider, I mean, spoiler warning for the end of that sixth episode, but I did consider white phosphorus, but I ruled it out for a few reasons, which is that Murota didn't seem to be suffering from the main symptom that I could find of white phosphorus poisoning, which is something called phossy jaw, which is basically where your jaw erodes and falls away, sort of thing. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all.
Like the Radiant Girls.
White phosphorus matches have also, as the episode says, not been made for 100 years. And
yeah,
I was also fairly sure using white phosphorus is a war crime.
Yeah, so, quick side note on white phosphorus. If you've ever played the game Spec Ops: Line, one of the missions involves you being forced to use white phosphorus on a target, and it is horrifying. Because white phosphorus is one of the most horrific chemical pyrophorics that there is out there.
I mean,
it's
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's much more easily ignited than fucking thermite and burns about as hot.
Yeah. I mean, not to, get into real life stuff, but to be fair, I don't think it's technically it's not a war crime, but it's just looked very askance at. Apparently Israel used it a bit, and people were looking very askance at that, or at least people with a good head on their shoulders. Anyway, but yeah, no, I did like the mystery though. I fucking loved the first episode of it as well. That was so interesting. That episode took me 40 minutes to get through because I stopped it in the last 5 minutes to research meningitis. And be oh shit, no, this is a real thing. Fungal meningitis is a real thing, and it's not quite as bad as bacterial meningitis, but it is still very bad.
I did sort of guess that it was something related to some fungus in that tomb.
Yeah, that was not too difficult to guess. It was just a matter of which fungus.
Yeah.
Fungus.
I don't know shit about fungus, so, but yeah.
Yeah, it was always going to be something to do with something that had been, in that tomb that they had released because they were idiots and went in there without protection. I mean, obviously the sort of not even necessarily confusing bit, but sort of that may have hidden it was the fact that obviously Akari and Murota had different symptoms, and it is because cryptococosis can hit either the brain or the lungs. So it obviously did it in, did the brain in Akari and the lungs in Murota. But yeah, no surprise that Ikari died, because meningitis is a very bad disease to get. It's a very bad disease to get.
It is horrifying, yes.
I mean, in the research that I did, it was saying the mortality rate is around 25% even in developed countries. And that only goes up in, more resource-poor countries where it isn't diagnosed until late on, which it obviously was with Akari.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not really, yeah.
I wonder if they'll use other rare but horrifying illnesses in this.
I imagine they will.
They kind of have to.
Yeah. I also did some research into people being, burnt alive. Found a concerning website that listed all the ways you'd die if you were set ablaze.
Jesus.
Oh.
Is one of those ways smoke inhalation?
Yeah, no, there was a lot of ways, honestly. It was very much a case of, if this doesn't kill you, this'll kill you. If this doesn't kill you, this'll kill you. It's not a good way to go, as we said.
So, useful note, don't get set on fire. Just a good life tip in general.
Mm-hmm.
That said, Murota kind of had it coming.
Yeah.
Turns out he is, he was not a good person. I do think they maybe could have set that bit up a little bit better.
I hardly got that
very
from
well
his introduction. Like, he seemed to... There was something kind of off there, but I didn't sense that he was, that kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he just came across as curmudgeonly, rather than, an abusive asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to question why he had so many white phosphorus matches. Like, he had so many of them. So many of them. I'm also glad that Arshia Prick got caught. He was a dick, and I'm glad that, Kotori managed to catch him, even if it was at the cost of his car.
Rip.
Also, Mai is so clearly gay for Takao, right?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
She's Mai seems to be Takao's favorite person at the moment, and then at one point I think Mai said she was thinking about asking Takao out when Kotori was like, "No, we're not dating. Of course we're not dating."
I can see where you're coming from. Unfortunately, I don't think the show is going to let it happen.
I don't think the show will go this way. But I've got to get my Yuri outlets somewhere, or my Yuri urges out somewhere, because there are at least 2 other shows this season that is testing my patience with it.
Oh boy.
I mean, those are also much more homoerotic than this one.
Yeah,
overtly.
No, it is, but, I've also, started watching this dubbed with my mum.
Oh, how's that?
It's going well. She's enjoying it.
Okay.
We watched episode 3 on Tuesday.
Nice.
And that was...
Speaking of which, I did actually guess that it was epilepsy.
Yeah.
It does make a lot of sense.
No,
yeah.
it absolutely does. Epilepsy was something I was thinking about, but I didn't realize automatism was something you could get with seizures, to be fair.
Yeah, I knew there was a lot of different symptoms you could get from that, so...
No, fair enough. And yeah, I can't exactly blame Sumida for banning Takao from the psychology department.
I don't think Takao is the kind of person you should allow around mental health patients. Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
not. I mean, it's also the fact that she outright just told a patient, yeah, this person misdiagnosed you. That's the kind of shit that gets you sued, as we were seeing at the end of episode 6.
Yep.
Because apparently somebody is suing Takao.
Which is that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if it's actually anything, like, if it's legit or not. It could genuinely be legit, to be honest.
It's probably not.
It's probably not, but we'll see.
Because I don't picture Takao being wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we
No,
gonna get some
something like
Phoenix
that.
Wright shit? I want to see some Phoenix Wright shit.
See, now that's what I want to see. That's what I'm hoping comes from this.
Hmm.
You know, they should make an anime adaptation of Phoenix Wright.
They did.
They did.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, I definitely didn't know about that. No,
And-
sorry.
They did, and we'll never speak of it again.
Exactly.
It's in the same cupboard as Promised Neverland season 2 and Wonder Egg.
Yeah.
I have no idea what shows you're talking about, Mel.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Promise Neverland didn't get a season 2, even though I mentioned that earlier.
But yeah, so Ameku MD continues to be a pretty fun show.
No, it's definitely one that I'm enjoying most this season.
Yeah. It's really good fun.
Well, let's move on.
Aside from the spontaneous human combustion,
I mean,
as fun as
yeah.
that can be.
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
great. Let's move on to another, top tier show of the season. It is the Apothecary Diaries season 2.
These have been some good episodes.
Yeah. No, these are very enjoyable episodes. And having basically reread the entirety of Volume 3, it only gets better from here.
Uh-huh.
This is,
Yeah, poor Jinchi's been having a fun time.
yeah. He didn't enjoy dressing up in drag?
It's less that and more having to swim across a body of water while wearing a bunch of heavy clothing.
Underwater as well, so that they didn't see him.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, damn, he really pulls it off.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, I'm not too shocked. It's been very consistently stated that he is extremely pretty, so...
Yeah.
I do love how, Mamao is like, we don't have anyone who fits that description. Unless... And then Gaoshin was like, oh, and they both just look at Jinshi and just like, oh no, what are you planning?
Brain cell connection. But yeah, there's also the mirror bit was also really interesting. I do wonder what Gaoshin's hiding with that.
I mean, obviously this is now the third time I've been through this, and it only just occurred to me. It may have had to do with the pair of envoys, considering how similar they did look. I mean, obviously,
Yeah, maybe.
Obviously, Gaoshin said pregnant, but that may have just been a sort of more of a hiding of the true intention of espionage.
Maybe. I am curious as to what the case is there, but we don't know. At least those of us who aren't filthy source material readers don't know.
Fair. Because Mau did sort of theorize that the whole poisoning plot may be something to do with this other country, and especially considering the envoys were clearly trying to seduce the emperor.
Yeah.
Which, they had the bust size for it, if Mau was to be believed.
I mean, by all indications,
The Emperor is a
that's
boob
his
man,
type.
yeah. The Emperor is a boob man.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, the corpse fungus stuff was also very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does remind me of, well, it's not directly related because it's a different thing entirely, but whenever I hear corpse fungus, I think of cordyceps rather than what was actually in the episode.
Yeah.
Still interesting stuff, though. Also, that Courtesan was a real asshole.
Yeah. No,
not Courtesan, consort.
Yeah, I can't say I'm too upset that she bit the dust. That was a shame about the
other consort.
the lady in waiting who had to take her place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, that mushroom it's fucking bad news. Real fucking bad news.
As it turns out, most mushrooms, not most mushrooms necessarily, but a lot of mushrooms are not safe for consumption for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I hate mushrooms in general. They're all evil. Even the ones that are technically edible, they're all evil. All of them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Is that why you didn't watch Kanoko Inu?
Hey, I'm still gonna watch it.
Were you prejudiced against the poor dog?
No. Dogs always take priority. I can deal with a mushroom dog. It's fine. That's the exception. The one exception.
But yes, really fun stuff overall, though. The whole thing with the moths was pretty cool too.
That was very cool. And you know, it was interesting again seeing Mao go through this story, going like, okay, well, obviously, you know, we need the good-looking woman to begin with. We'll just stick Jinji in there. It's fine. He's close enough to it. What else? You know, what else can we do to recreate the scenario, sort of thing? What else was there? Also been introduced to the clinic, which is where, you know, the ladies in waiting actually get medical treatment. Because the quack is a quack.
Yeah. Though it is curious that Jinshi mentions that only eunuch doctors are allowed, so... And he also mentioned wanting to change that, which is curious.
Well, the point is that while the Emperor hasn't banned eunuchs specifically, he has banned the
eunuch making process, let's call it.
The cutting of the root and stem, yes. Or, you know, twig and berries, let's say. Which means...
I mean, understandable.
Yeah, which means there aren't going to be, you know... once this current crop of eunuchs dies out, that's it, there are no more eunuchs.
Also, fucking Mao would just be like, oh, Jinchi's poor balls, if only it was a few years later.
Not just saying that, you know, out loud in front of him, but also just staring at his crotch while she does.
I fucking love Mao.
Mao, even if he hadn't said "what a shame" out loud, you were still staring right at it. But yeah, it's interesting watching the relationship between Mao and Jinshi in this season so far, because it has been a lot more sort of cordial and almost cordial and playful, I think. You know, Mao's obviously has, you know, thought, maybe I shouldn't say that, but she has still been making these kinds of comments in front of him. Meanwhile, you know, Jinshi stole Mao's tea like the petty bitch she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took Mamao's court mushrooms off her.
Yep. I mean, banned, confiscated. No drugs for you.
Interestingly, in the novels, it's Gaoshin who takes them off her. Jinshi isn't.
I mean, it would be in character for either.
Yeah, Jinshi isn't actually in that scene.
Oh, interesting.
Because it said he has work elsewhere at the time. But yes. Now, Apothecary Diaries continues to be very good, very entertaining. And trying to think where we're at and what we've got next. The next episode should be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Does look like he'll be curious.
And then the episode after that will also be interesting. Actually, honestly, the next like the rest of the season is going to be real interesting to me. I'm really looking forward to it. As I said, this volume is very good. But we should probably move on to something else that I have read the source material for, and therefore, can hint at things. Because we have Blue Box.
Good old Blubbox. I love these dorks.
Yeah, no, they're great. Honestly, I forgot how long they sort of dragged out the Hina stuff.
It was very much intentional. I get it. I get what they're going for. They're making it seem much more conflicting to Taiki than, than it otherwise would be, because otherwise it doesn't feel like an actual triangle per se, and just is more like a distraction from the from his actual goal.
Yeah. But
so I think it's just like a way of puffing up that corner of the triangle, as it were.
But yeah, I mean, I actually, after a couple of episodes, I did actually go and check, how long does this go on again? Oh my god, we've still got a ways to go.
We're in for a fun time.
Yeah. Which is all the wilder considering, these episodes have been pretty much filled with Taiki and Chinatsu flirting with each other.
Oh, yeah, no, it's been great. Those two are like when they're with each other. With one another.
Yeah.
Words.
It is just unfortunate that, Taiki is still rather stuck in his own head about it, and Chinatsu's got her own thing that we will get to eventually. But means that they, aren't able to really see well enough just, how much chemistry they've got with each other. It even said at the start of episode 16, and I think it was the aftermath of them going to the beach for Chinatsu's birthday, and I even said, "You flirting fucks! If Hina could see this, she'd cry."
I mean, yes, because it'd be very clear that she has no chance. Also, do gotta love Chinatsu's bestie figuring it out pretty quickly after she actually has a conversation with Chinatsu about the whole situation with Taiki.
I mean, again, it's not been, they've not especially hidden the fact that they do actually know each other. And, once that sort of last piece of, Chinatsu, on the call, Chinatsu was with a male voice, and she's paying a lot of attention to this, to this underclassman. There was always going to be sort of a light bulb moment there.
Speaking of though, that match was pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, the Taiki Yusa match is great. It's really well done, and it's great that Taiki finally gets a win, especially considering, you know, the last episode or two, Taiki has been remarkably down on himself, saying that, you know, he needs to keep getting better, not realizing that he has been getting better. You know, he's still undervaluing himself in that sense.
Yeah, no, but it was awesome seeing him rally and actually, you know, come out from behind and pull out the win.
Yeah. I mean, obviously part of it is that Yusa played back-to-back, but yeah, it's still a win to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
We also got an interesting scene in episode 17 of Chinatsu and Haru talking about Taiki, and it does make me wonder, because obviously we know that Chinatsu has been talking to Karen about Taiki, and I mean, if nothing else, we got all that fucking teasing from Karen in episode 13, I think, towards Taiki, which was great. And let's be honest, Karen has almost certainly told Haru a fair amount of what Chinatsu has told her. You know, it makes me wonder if that, you know, conversation was the moment that Haru realized that, hey, Chinatsu does actually like Taiki, and the boy has a chance.
Yep. It's honestly like Taiki is far too down on himself in general, because he thinks he doesn't have as much of a chance as he actually definitely does.
I mean, it's you know, it's a similar thing to him with his badminton. You know, he just assumes that he's not getting close to Chinatsu. She's not developing feelings for him, because he can't see a world where that happens. Meanwhile, yes, they are getting closer and closer together, sort of thing. Not to mention, he is obviously at the moment distracted by the Hina stuff, which may or may not be spurring Chinatsu to get closer to Taiki.
Yeah, jealousy has a funny way of working like that.
Maybe not even jealousy, just, you know, realizing that, hey, this guy is not going to be, you know, single forever. I might have to, you know, start moving here.
It's all about that strategy. But yes, just loving this this section of the story, and gotta love all the cute flirting that's been going on with Taiki and Chinatsu.
Yeah. And in my sort of looking forward to see sort of where the Hina stuff ends, I've got a pretty solid idea of where they're going to end the season.
I think so too. I think we've talked about it on stream elsewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Blue Box continues to be really good. Let's move on to another sports show. This one more focused on the sports than the romance, because there's... I mean, I'm not going to say there's no romance, but there's not much romance. Because we move on to Blue Lock Season 2. Nmbr, our boy Bardo finally got his due.
Okay, good. Because I haven't watched a single episode since last stream, unfortunately. But I'm glad Baro is finally getting his due.
No,
that's all the motivation I need to watch more.
Yeah, no, he definitely in the 2 episodes that I watched, he definitely got a lot to do, which was great. Yeah, he's just fucking fantastic. Great. And as much as I am enjoying the dub, I will say the one downside is that do lose Junichi Sawabe as Baro.
Oh yeah, he kills it. He's so good. I mean, it's Junichi Suwaba. He always
Yeah.
kills it, but
But yeah, no, these 2 episodes are good. There was a moment in episode 35 that frustrated me a little bit because it was sort of the same old of Blue Lock, of something happening for the opposition team and Isagi having, his fucking oh woe is me moment sort of thing. Of, oh no, look at how good they are, how am I gonna catch up? And what sort of makes it worse is, like, 2 seconds later, he goes over to Ego and is, like, super fired up, which just doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, looking forward to the last 2 episodes. This is still a good show, but as said, as both of us have said, there's an element of its formula can get a little samey.
yeah.
Though again, like I think we said last time, it's definitely better in this match just because there are so many more players to interact with and get interested in, and especially considering
exactly.
Pretty much the entire other team are new characters that we haven't interacted with. We get some IQ stuff, which is pretty interesting. For example, the more he talks, the more I realize he not only looks 40, he sounds 40. I'm fairly sure he is just a 40-year-old playing in this under-20s team.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works out, because yeah, he certainly does seem not under 20.
I mean, it doesn't help, again, that in the dub he's voiced by Jonas Scott, who is always going to struggle to sound young. He's got that deep Yami Yugi voice, so...
Oh goodness.
But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it, and then the fucking additional time in episode 36 was fucking Isagi and Nagi imagining Bara running a maid cafe.
Why?
I don't know. Like, Hiyori asked him, why are you imagining that? A, why are you imagining that? And B, why would you work there? Because they do work there in their imagination spot. And I enjoyed it so much that I not only watched it dubbed, I watched it subbed because I needed to hear it with Sawabe.
Oh goodness. Oh.
It is unhinged, and it's great. Anyway, continuing my run of fucking shows at the start here, let's move on to...
More blue.
Blue Miburo, the final blue show.
I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. If I was... Sorry.
I'm just gonna take a sip of water here.
Yeah, you do that.
So the Rishidan stuff is definitely gonna be the main event of the second core, it seems.
That definitely makes sense. They've been putting quite a lot of narrative focus on it.
What makes it interesting is or more interesting, is the addition of Yotaro, who is clearly a very good fighter to the point where Naozumi does want to recruit him to the Rishidan, though personality-wise, I'm not sure he fits.
Yeah, no, he doesn't seem the type.
Though it does seem like Naozumi has basically sort of maybe not blackmailed him into it, but sort of pressured him into it by using the sort of reputation of the dojo at stake.
Mm-hmm. You know, real class act move.
I don't think, you know... I don't think Naozumi can ever be accused of being the most, you know, ethical person out there.
No.
We also got a sort of episode 13 was sort of the closer to the Iamochi arc, and we got to see Iamochi's body double, who is a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then episode 14, all the ways the group tried to make money, Serizawa challenging dojos and then drinking all the money he'd won away. Harada,
that was funny.
Harada and Nagakura pawning their swords and using the money to gamble, which obviously didn't go well.
Of fucking course it didn't.
Kondo found a cat and then tried to chase the cat and didn't manage it. Did that all day. And then fucking Okita was trying to sell smut involving octopuses and squids.
Yeah, I think it's about, what was it, a decade or two early for that? I forget when Hokusai was a popular artist.
I don't know, okay?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
I don't know the history of tentacle porn, as it turns out.
Katsushika Hokusai was the artist behind the oh no, full S. Decades beforehand. Okay then.
I'm guessing that bookseller just wasn't into tentacle porn.
Yeah, you're not gonna see any copies of Dream of the Fisherman's Wife there.
But yeah, no, this continues to be a fairly steady show. It's never been spectacular, but
it's a fun time.
It's been enjoyable enough. You know, there are characters that I look at and go, I wish I enjoyed you more. And other characters that I'm going, I enjoy you the right amount. I mean, obviously, we also got a little bit of stuff with Hajime, who is apparently Saito Hajime the second, and is willing to kill people for money.
Yeah, that brings up a lot of questions, like what happened to the first Saito Hajime, and yeah, how does this whole thing go?
How does this underworld place fit into his backstory? I mean, we did see. I feel like I remember seeing a flashback of Hajime with somebody dying of illness, so it might have been that, or it might have been related to that. But yeah. And now the Rishidan has thrown down a challenge to the Miburo, and you fucking know it's an emergency when Serizawa is letting Hijikata command.
I do find it very funny how Naozumi just like waltzes up, hands the person at the front a letter, and just walks off. That is very funny.
Hands it to Taro of all people as well.
Yeah.
That poor boy.
It's... Dude is gonna have an anxiety attack one of these days. But yeah, overall, a pretty steady show, as you said. But we should move on to something a bit more explosive.
Let's move on to Dr. Stone, Science Future. You fucking Americans, they can't land in America for more than 5 minutes without getting shot up.
America!
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I do like the reveal of the antagonists of this arc, just because it does a good job of establishing just how different Zeno and his philosophy of science is from Senku, and how outclassed that means Senku and his team are.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Senku, the Kingdom of Science sort of wasted, you know, what, two years at war with Tsukasa?
I don't think they were at war with Tsukasa for 2 full years. I think it was just 1.
Either way, they wasted a fair amount of time on that.
Yes, true. But also, like, they didn't develop, like, the crazy shit that the Americans did.
Mm. I mean, there's also the fact that Japan in general is just a less resource-heavy country than America.
Yeah, no, the United States really won the resource lottery compared to, like, 90% of other countries.
To be fair, that's in part because your
conquest and all that.
Your country is significantly larger than most other countries.
Also true, yes.
It's easy to have a lot of resources if you're you've basically taken over a third of a continent.
Yeah, true. But Canada has more land and they don't have more resources.
Yeah, but like a good fucking 40% of Canada is, you know, basically
frozen hellscape, yes.
Basically Arctic level. So not much is gonna grow there.
Yeah. But I concede the point. Yeah, no, that does go a long ways towards, like, just overall explaining the lopsided advantage that the Americans do have.
Yeah.
And also why Senku and Ryusui are very much like, we cannot tell them about the revival fluid. That is our one big advantage.
Yeah.
Also insane to consider that every single person on that base just stayed conscious for 3,700 years.
I mean, law of averages, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, we do find out what their deal is later, but still. But yeah. I do also like, again, being like, whatchamacallit, his self, basically.
Yeah. Again, basically sort of taking the challenge of, hey, these guys have been, pulling their weight, now it's time for me to do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously the thing.
He does a good job.
Yeah, no, he does a great job. That's obviously the thing. There's not much use for somebody like Gen, or not as much use for somebody like Gen when everything's at peace and they don't have an enemy. But yeah, and I kind of overstate how much I love Gen bullshitting that Taishu is Dr. Taishu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It might actually be one of the funniest gags of the series.
It is. I mean, Taiju leads into the role pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, no, he does. He does. It's just very funny to me. I mean, I'll also say that production-wise, it's been quite good so far.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because obviously TMS Entertainment are also doing Sakamoto Days this season.
Yep.
So it's it's nice to see that Dr. Stone is still getting resources. Still getting some decent animation when it needs to. Oh yeah, it's also got Rent a Girlfriend Season 4 coming up.
Your favorite number?
Shut up. Shut up. I know I earned that, but shut up. I don't need to hear it.
I'm pretty sure season 4 is going to have that scene.
I watched that one episode.
Yeah, you've finally broken the Stockholm syndrome for it.
It's not Stockholm. It's not Stockholm syndrome because I never enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Nor did I feel the need to. I just felt like it was something that needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fortunately, TMS Entertainment is working on good stuff outside of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are starting to heat up in the Dr. Stone world.
Yeah. I will also say the dub has Robert McCollum for Stanley, which is really good casting. Really, I mean, I love Robert McCollum in general, but he is a good pick for Stanley. I'm not sure who they've got for Dr. Zeno. Didn't recognize his voice.
You can look it up.
As well. I'm not sure if it's actually been put up on Mal or anywhere. Oh no, it has. John Bergmeyer,
Nice.
who is also a very good voice actor. So,
what else has he done?
he's Lucky Roo in One Piece, and he was
okay.
Shigure in Fruits Basket.
Oh, and he's the paperfold ninja dude in Hiroaka.
Mm-hmm. Ed Shot.
Ed Shot.
Yeah.
Let's forget his name.
I mean, he doesn't play that much of a role.
Yeah. It was not as memorable as the other ones, but yeah. No, it's really good, and Stanley and Zeno's group make up for some very interesting antagonists.
Yeah, no, definitely. But we should probably move on to Dragon Ball Daima. Okay, so we need to split this up into like 2 parts of me talking about the episodes I watched dubbed and you guys talking about the, end of the series.
Yeah, we are in the end game now after all.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that whoever they got to do Bulma and whoever they got to do Roshi, like the kid versions of them, fucking superb. Because Bulma really sounds like what I remember from her in the OG Dragon Ball dub.
Okay.
Nice.
And Roshi's VA, like, legit, the, like, intonations, the inflections, the, like, cadence of his dialogue, fucking exactly the same as his when he's older. Like, it is remarkable how similar it is. It's great. I will say, there's a part of me that kind of wishes somebody like Kibito hadn't been transformed so he could be a sad sack about it. Like they get up to the fucking lookout and Popo's like, transformed all of Goku's friend. Kibito just looks down himself. Oh. Oh, I see how it is. Okay.
It would have been funny, but it also would have been a bit mean.
It would have been a bit mean, but I would have found it funny. I also love Shenron just continuing to be a malicious genie about things.
The whole, I do that for them because they are...
They're repeat customers.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that, Goma clearly thinks that Kid Goku is going to be better than adult Goku, when Kid Goku was fucking bloodthirsty.
Yes.
He was, yeah.
Red ribbons.
I shall also point out the fact that the Supreme Kai is throwing himself into quite a dangerous situation when his existence, sort of keeps Beerus alive.
That's
It'll be
true, yeah.
fine.
Like, I was just thinking of Kibito just going, Supreme Kai, you sure? Lord Beerus will be awful upset if you put yourself in danger again. Oh, Kibito, he won't be canon for another couple of years.
God, that would be an actually hilarious way to handle it. Too bad they won't do that.
No, they're not willing to do that. This is like some parallel timeline bullshit.
I mean,
Well, not quite. We do have confirmation that does tie it into Super.
yeah.
Fair enough. I suppose I will get to that, but yes, you
Yeah.
you go ahead with the end game stuff then.
The climax is looking to be quite fun. Got just an all-out raid boss, basically, against Goma at this stage.
Yeah.
Good for Goma, he got yoked.
Yeah, he also looks suspiciously like Jiren, just with a different head.
With a different head and also, like, more interesting characterization.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's a
not
low
not
bar.
hard to do. Yeah, low bar.
Yeah, that is a very low bar. That is an extremely low bar.
Low bar, but I'm not taking it back.
Goma is far more entertaining though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some good comedy bits, like the one, what's his name, being, that one chick trying to manipulate what's his name into giving her the belt, and then he just, like, trades it for her hat.
Yeah.
That was a funny bit, and she's just, like, kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
But that's what it took.
Look, Hyvis has standards.
They're low standards, but they're standards.
Yeah. He knows what he wants.
He does.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole lore drop about both the third eye and all the demon realm stuff is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Gee, it sure would have been rough if Deborah actually did have that eye when the whole Bobbity thing happened.
Yeah, he might have actually been a legitimate threat if that was the case.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was turned into a cookie.
He was. It was funny.
Yep.
A very very ignoble end for somebody who's meant to be quite important overall.
Yeah, the king of the demon realm. Yeah, a little bit.
Could have used a little bit more sugar.
But yeah, everyone's teaming up against Goma, and they're Goma's just this huge dude now, and then everyone else is just so tiny. So it's pretty fun to watch.
I think TFS just put out a short today, dubbing over the Goma stuff with the Garlic Jr. abridged stuff.
Yeah, with the Kai 2.9.
Yeah,
I saw the clip. It's very funny.
it works. Works really well.
It does. In the animation for at least this episode was fantastic. Things kind of chilled out for a while. Last few episodes weren't all that great, but they were leading up to this and we're getting to the meat, the good stuff.
This is turning into a much better climax than the last couple episodes had led me to expect.
Yeah, though I am a little bit confused because Goku's willing to fight with everyone versus Goma, which is, which is understandable given the threat, but if he understood that the threat was so large, why didn't he just use Super Saiyan 3 right off the bat?
Because he's Goku.
I know, but still, like, he didn't even use Super Saiyan 2. Like, what's going on?
Come on, you know Goku never jumps straight to the top thing.
I know,
but
there was barely a build up to it. Like, he usually builds up to it, and there was hardly that at all. I don't know.
Maybe it was just like,
it was a little
no,
weird.
I can't go slow and steady on this. I gotta step up faster.
Yeah, it was just a little weird, but it doesn't
I
matter
get
that much. Plus, it led to a good little cliffhanger, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Look, we're in for a good time, not a long time with this one.
Yeah.
And hey, honestly, props to the studio for, actually keeping it short and sweet rather than dragging it out.
Yeah.
And I do mean Toei, not Fuji TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll not get into that.
Yeah. Anyway, we should probably move on to our next show, which is Flower and Ashura.
The show is so close to just like outright going to outright Yuri territory.
This show's not getting me with that. I don't care. I'm not falling for it again.
I'm not falling for it either, but like, did you see this past week's episode?
Yeah, I know. Hana said love.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure she is reading a Yuri novel.
Yeah, she's reading a Yuri short story. Yes, and she's probably going to read the Yuri short story. Yeah, I still don't have faith.
I get it. We've all been burned a few too many times.
They just love debate with this show, huh?
Like, there's so many ships that we can see coming. We got the classic Senpai Kohai one. We got the possible rivals ship going. And you know how it is. They're gonna hedge their bets.
Mm.
And also leave us very unhappy that we didn't get more. But it's still really good. Like, the whole conceit of the show is still really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly doesn't hurt that both the voice actors really handled the shift from their regular speech to their recitational speech really well.
Yeah.
Like, props to all the saves for pulling that switch off. It works extraordinarily well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the characterization is very consistently on point as well.
Mm-hmm. No, it's been a good show thus far. As long as you can, as long as you're okay with the potential Yuri baiting.
Yes, I'm not going to hold out hope, but if it does happen, I will be delighted.
Mm-hmm.
It's more or less where we're at with these kinds of shows, unfortunately. But yes, still really good stuff. Anything else that y'all want to add?
Obviously, Natsue's been taking the focus from the other first years thus far, but it'll be interesting to see where both Toga and Akiyama go.
Yeah. I do also like Hana's non-voice acting club friend.
Nekui, yes.
What was it? Nekui, yeah. No, she's fun.
No, she's great. More of her will be good.
Mm-hmm.
I also liked how Ryoko portrayed herself as the normal one of the senpai trio, and then she went on her fucking rant about classics, and like,
yes,
there seems to be a voyeuristic, invasive element to Ryoko's love for classics.
Yeah, kinda.
Like, Mizuki used the word fetish, and it's not a good word choice, but it fucking fits.
Yep. It really does. Yeah, no, all these kids are pretty crazy. That's, It's nice to see that they're all crazy in their own ways that more or less complement each other.
Yeah. And then you've obviously got fucking Kichijoji in there, fucking trying to poach the first years.
Oh yeah, he's so catty.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a good show. It's definitely been a good show. Said tiniest bit frustrated about the about what is probably bait. Certainly, I haven't heard anything about the source material being Yuri. Unless you can prove me wrong, Jack.
I have not seen anything about the source material really in detail. It's not a really like well-known series. Until recently, I'd actually thought this was an original. But yes,
I mean it's an ultra jump. I don't know. I don't think that changes anything in terms of.
Ultra Jump isn't really a big magazine compared to like outside of JoJo, it doesn't really have a lot of big names I can think of. Oh yeah, it did. Oh, No Guns Life. Okay. So it does have some names here and there, but that's about it.
I mean, the issue is, the writer for the manga is obviously the writer for Euphonium.
Yep. That'll do it.
So,
that will do it.
Yeah. What tags did it have on this particular Yo-Ho-Ho site? Not Girls Love. Okay. I'm gonna say probably not. It's probably gonna be bait.
Probably.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, I'm keeping my expectations low, honestly.
Okay, let's move on then to... From Bureaucrat to Villainess, Dad's been reincarnated.
I laughed out loud at this joke.
I didn't laugh because it kind of just comes out of nowhere, but it is fun.
Overall, the show has just been a delight.
No, it's been extremely fun. I really like the whole. I like how it's tied to the dad's otaku family.
Yeah.
And how they're on the outside working to get him out of the game, and they're both sides are kind of indirectly working together. I like it. It's fun.
Meanwhile, Kenzaburo is accidentally seducing literally every single eligible person in sight.
Yep.
And he is completely oblivious.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this has just been consistently very fun. And the storyline is really interesting, as you said. He didn't get actually technically isekai'd, only kind of sort of isekai'd, which does add a layer of nuance to it.
Yeah. His real body's there in a coma.
Yep. And the whole bit with the souls of with the whole familiar summoning thing with the Grace and Kenzaburo dolls both popping up makes me think that Grace is still in there somehow. Just dormant.
Maybe.
So it'll be very interesting to see how this pans out. I don't know if this is a completed story or not. I'll have to look, but if it is, it'd be nice to see. No, it is still ongoing. Never mind.
Yeah. Figures. Most of these are.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
It does have some pretty good production values, though.
Oh, it's a manga. That's interesting.
Yeah. Also, the fucking ED is great.
Oh, I love the ED so much. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Just absolutely joyous and exuberant. And flashy as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot keep saying this series' praise enough.
Yeah.
It's just a fun time.
Also, it has a not deeply thought out, but it has a thought out magic system, which is kind of interesting.
Which is more than most isekai do.
Yeah.
Most isekai just staple on like a generic fantasy magic system and call it a day.
Yeah.
But whatchamacallit. I do also like the whole thing with whatchamacallit, the prince overhearing conversation in the library.
Yeah.
Just immediately fucking jumping down and blowing his cover when he hears something he didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also the bit with Kenzoburo's wife just rattling off a shit ton of bleeped out anime names.
Isekai specifically.
Yeah. She is very cultured.
Yeah.
All the classics, like fucking Magic Knight Rabley.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this show's very, very fun. It's, out of the Villainess shows we've had recently, this is probably my favorite.
Yeah. At
the very least, it's probably the best made one in terms of production value.
Honestly, it's probably production values wise, definitely. Content wise, yeah, no, outside of maybe In Love with the Villainess, this is probably the best story-wise as well since the first season of Baccarina, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, very good stuff.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Same. But, should probably move on to my first solo show.
Let's move on to Headhunted to Another World, from Salaryman to Big 4.
Oh, this is a fun one. It's just so funny seeing a salaryman actually successfully ply his skills in a fantasy world and both see the successes and failures that come with that. And seeing the developing relationship between him and the other members of the Big Four is also really interesting. Because you got the one who is very much got a crush on him, and he is, of course, oblivious. But the other two are also developing close relationships with him, but it's much more like a close friends slash affable co-workers type thing, which is interesting. I'm glad it's not going like the full-ass harem route like so many other lesser shows would be tempted to do. It's just the one girl who is actively interested in him, and the one time that seems like that might not be the case, it's a case of another woman just trying to propose an arranged marriage to solve a diplomatic issue. But yeah, it's also kind of delved into some interesting concepts that you don't normally see pop up in fantasy shows, like how economics work in these kinds of settings, as well as cultural ideas like promoting new customers visiting a restaurant by introducing and or reiterating the stories in which their products were kind of popularized within the culture, and basically reciting those stories out loud nearby to drive traffic up. It's all really interesting stuff. Nmbr, I do think you might have a good time with this one.
Not all that interested currently.
Not your vibe?
Not really, no.
That's fair. I do very much enjoy this one. It's not the best show I'm watching, because most of what I'm watching has been culled down to the actual really good stuff, but this is still a fun time, and I'd still say it's quite enjoyable. But yes. Moving on to a bit more dramatic show.
Let's move on to Honey Lemon Soda.
Yuka's gone through it, but she's also having a better time now.
No, she's definitely having a better time. I will say I feel like it was a bit quick for Uka to jump to I'm in love with Kai.
In fairness, I don't think she's ever experienced anything remotely like this before.
Yeah, but it was like day 2.
Again, socially awkward, very inexperienced teenager.
Yeah. There was also, I mean, this is my biggest issues were in episode 2. It's gotten better as we've gone on, but Kai's mixed messages in episode 2 were also not great.
Yeah. I do think that part of that is just kind of growing pains, because by the time we get to like episode 3 and onwards, Kai's a lot more consistently characterized.
Yeah. No, then the issue is fucking Takamine being weirdly a dick.
Kinda is, yeah. Fortunately, it doesn't pop up too often.
I mean, we had one conversation thus far, but he's sort of still being weird about it, for whatever reason. I will say I have had a quick look at the manga, and it's been weird. It's been ending in some weird places in the sense of not ending at the end of chapters, ending in the middle of chapters.
What? How so?
Wow, it's episode 2, episode 3.
Oh, that, okay. The adaptation has been ending in the middle of chapters.
Yeah. No, the manga doesn't just like end in the middle of a chapter. No.
Yeah, that'd be very odd.
Yeah, it's monthly chapters, so I don't know. But
maybe it's just a case of the chapters being a bit too thick and them not finding a better stopping point.
I'm not sure. I mean, episode 3 it was fine, because that was a decent enough ending point, especially if you try and make it more dramatic. Because yeah, they don't end the fucking chapter with them lost. They end it with I think it was them on the bus, if I remember correctly, like going home from the hike.
Okay. Yeah, the them being lost is a better cliffhanger.
But yeah, episode 2 has definitely ended in a weird place to me.
So how far did you get into the show then?
I'm fully caught up on it. I'm still watching it.
Okay. Yeah, the introduction of Serena is interesting, because you expect her to be this, kind of mean girl type, but no, she's actually really nice.
Yeah, no, she's been great thus far. I I mean,
I am very curious as to what led to her and Kai breaking up.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's actually going to be, because at the moment the assumption seems to be that it was something to do with Kai. I'm wondering if it was actually something to do with Serena.
Maybe.
But obviously we'll hopefully only have to watch and wait, and not, it be left hanging and us not know unless we read the manga.
Everyone's favorite. Read the manga endings.
Yeah, they're not great. Some are better than others, but I mean, God, I still remember Sacred Beasts. Read the manga ending.
That manga only ended recently. Like a year or two ago, I think.
Well, I'm not shocked it's not gotten a season 2.
But yes, I do like, though, that Uka has steadily become more and more well-liked by her classmates as she's started coming out of her shell a little bit. Because she's a good kid, and it's nice to see everyone else recognizing that.
I also like that it's has apparently been spread around, presumably by Kai, that Uka's middle school experience was not good, and so to be more careful around her. Because it has been good seeing, sometimes they do step in it because they are stupid teenagers, but they do their best to sort of bring it back and be like, oh, sorry about that, actually saying sorry.
Yeah, it's nice to see teenagers actually apologizing because they realize they fucked up.
Yeah. Ayumi has been great with her crush on Seto being, fairly obvious, and then her realizing that Uka has a crush on Kai.
Yeah.
And, trying to be a wing woman.
Yeah, that is very nice. Yeah, overall, it's just really nice, romantic drama, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Genre-wise, I'm pretty sure it's a romantic drama.
It's a shoujo, so
yeah.
Romance.
It's a nice shoujo romance.
Yeah, romance is definitely the key portion. To be honest, there's a part of me that wishes it wouldn't turn into a romance and Uka and Kai stayed platonic, because I think that could also be an interesting take on it.
It would be, but it does feel like it's not going to go that way.
Oh, no, they're 100% going down a romantic route. 100%.
Yep. Still overall a really good show, and gotta love these all these dorks slowly working their way up through life.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been enjoyable. Hopefully we don't get too much more of Uka's middle school classmates, because they 201 fucking suck.
I mean, her middle school experiences were hell, so
yeah,
that tracks.
I mean, literally, we came across them for like 5 seconds in episode 2, and they were assholes like 3 times to Uka.
Yep. Because they suck.
I mean, at least it sounds like at least one of the like fucko trio got expelled.
I mean, not surprisingly, they brought a couple other people into the school to,
attack somebody,
hurt one of their classmates.
Yeah. I mean, hey, they were fucking cowards about it as well.
Yep.
All it took was one desk yeet, and they ran off.
Paper taggers, one and all.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, they're typical bullies. They're cowards.
Exactly.
I will say, Uka has been somewhat painfully relatable.
Yeah.
The one in particular that got me was not knowing if you're friends with someone when they've been considering you a friend for a while.
Oh god, that hurts so much.
That one hurt, yeah. And it was nice that Ayumi basically went, "Oh, you're a person I have to tell these things. Okay, got it. I'll do that from now on."
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, just the being accommodating of the fact that Uka is not well socialized at all.
No.
And being like, "No, I don't want these kinds of misunderstandings again. I will tell you if there's something like this that comes up again." I wish you know, she would tell Kai as well, but you know, it's we're working through it. But yeah, I mean, at this point, the only thing I'm like sort of negative on is the Takamine stuff, just because it just feels like incredibly unnecessary angst.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like they just added that angst for the sake of it, and I don't understand what the goal is here for either both in universe and out of universe.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, let's move on to our next show, which is I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. Oh wow, Rufus betrayed them. I'm so surprised. Oh wow.
I mean,
He was such a good guy before that. Oh no.
Obvious traitor is obvious, yes.
Yeah. Like,
still, otherwise, the whole thing is pretty fun.
No, I mean, I'm enjoying the show thus far. I mean, I've only watched 2 more episodes of it, but it's been pretty decent.
I mean, speaking of relatable characters,
I mean, yeah,
fucking
Alina.
Yeah. Anyone who's ever worked a customer service job can relate to her feelings.
I mean, to be fair, you know, sometimes I think that her rampages aren't as, you know, merited. But the one she went on when that fucking dude destroyed her house, no, that one was pretty fucking warranted.
Yeah, no shit. She had a mortgage on that thing, damn it.
Yeah. I mean, that guy is a complete dumbass anyway, because he set a giant golem loose in the city, which was never going to end well for him.
No. It was just fun to see Karma bite him back in the ass so swiftly.
Yeah. So, I've been watching this dubbed. Jill Harris is playing Alina. Jesus,
nice.
She has been she must be tearing up her vocal cords for some of these deliveries, because Christ, she's going all in on them.
I mean, she voices Noelle, so I'm not surprised that she can do that.
She probably got advice from fucking Dallas Reed.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, no, the energy of the show is just really fun. And yeah, Alina remains intensely relatable. While the action animation isn't perfect, it's still pretty damn good.
It's not bad by any stretch. I would say it's probably closer to workmanlike than anything else.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Certainly not, you know, a Cloverworks special. I would say they are not pushing themselves as hard as they could for this show, which, you know, I'm not gonna fault them for. I'd rather
they have a lot of other stuff on their docket. In fairness,
I would rather they be like this than, you know, work themselves to the bone with, you know, and fuck up all of their shows, sort of thing. I'm not even saying this is fucked up, but, you know, like, I would rather they, you know, pick and choose which shows they go, you know, 100% for, and which shows they'll go more, 60%.
Oh god, they've been doing a lot.
Exactly.
Oh god, they have a lot coming up.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. I want Windbreaker Season 2 to look as good as it can without, the animators killing themselves.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Black Butler, they can do what they want with that one.
Yeah. Look, none of us are big Black Butler diehards, so...
I did read, the first 2 volumes of the manga, but it was sort of a case of, I'm probably not going to get more of this. I'll also say that I approve of Lila thinking the executioner was male, because A, that would mean the executioner be dressed very sluttily, which I'd approve of. For a guy. And 2, she's creating some kind of boys love fan fiction in her mind between Jade and this male executioner.
It's so fucking funny.
I will say, fucking great gag was Alina saying to Jade, "I hope you stub your toe and it kills you," and Jade treating that as seriously as a hammer to the face.
I mean, that's a devastating insult, in fairness.
Also, fuck the Guildmaster for making Alina take a PTO day for going to the dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you couldn't give her the day off for that.
Nope.
This was a deal you did. Fucking give her the day off. Don't make her use her own days off, as well as her, being incredibly protective of the concept of paid days off.
Yeah.
So no,
Look, Alina understands her rights. Goddammit.
Yeah, no, she does. And we obviously got a bit of backstory for her and why she is so, committed to not actually being an adventurer. Also, obviously you've gotten past where I am at the end of episode 3, but I'm willing to bet that the necklace MacGuffin is gonna come up, alert Alina that the Silver Sword needs help, and she's gonna go.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, look, I feel like at this point in my life, I've watched enough media to see when, a Chekhov's MacGuffin is introduced and go, yeah, that's probably going to play a part in the future, isn't it?
We're too media savvy for our own good.
A little bit, yeah, but it comes with the territory at this point. But yeah, certainly I don't have anything else to say for the show. As I said, I've only really got 2 episodes, and they were good. I'll also say one last thing, for me at least. Alina's face sometimes seems weirdly proportioned to me.
Yeah, it might just be a case of off model.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, again, it's not, it's nowhere near a deal breaker. I have watched far uglier shows. Oh, XR.
Yeah.
I don't think they had a model to be on in that show.
It really didn't, did it?
Oh, XR. Anyway, yeah. This show has been surprisingly fun. We'll see how it does, because obviously, at the moment it's, giving excuses for Alina to be out in the field. We'll see how convoluted these excuses start to get. But let's move on to another one of your solo shows, Jack. In this case, it's a sequel because it is Ishura Season 2.
So this has gotten to starting the crazy intersections between all these champions and stuff. Because, God, I gotta pull up a list of all the names of these characters because there's so many. Look, I'm not going to say my memory's perfect.
No, it's
However,
absolutely fair. Half the time I only remember characters because I've got the fucking cast lists open.
yeah. But whatchamacallit? So we got the introductions of a few more crazy individuals. We got Linaris the Obsidian, who is a fucking vampire. And she is slowly but surely creating more vampires.
Alright.
Meanwhile, we get the introduction of Toroa the Awful, who is actually the son of Toroa the Awful, who has taken up his father's mantle and is searching for a blade of his father's that's been stolen by an alumnus of the show, Alice the Windrunner, the three-armed wyvern dude.
I mean, with a name like, or a suffix like the Awful, I'm sure he's a great guy.
Dude's fucking huge is what he is. And he has a fuck ton of fuck-off enchanted swords.
Right.
And we also get the introduction of Mestalexel, who is an autonomous golem who, as it turns out, is powered by a kind of homunculus type thing. Anyways, both the golem and the homunculus have healing factors and are granted a blessing which guarantees that neither one can be killed at the same time as the other. So basically, the fucking golem is immortal. Anywho, Toroa and Mestalexel wind up crossing paths in the middle of the desert. Both observed by that spy kid Kuro from the premiere. And they are encounter a sentient particle storm that threatens to destroy them all, as it were.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's I haven't seen the second part of that, but I am very curious to see how that fight's going to play out. Especially since it seems from the brief glance I got that the core of the particle storm is actually a sandworm.
Dune theme intensifies?
Yes. Look, we're not going to play the soundtrack here because we don't want to get sued. Or copyright struck, as it were, as the case may be. But yes. Yeah, no. Good shit, crazy shit.
Well,
having a good time.
You know where you can go to get away from sandworms, right?
Space!
God damn it.
For the time being, you can also escape capitalism, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Yep. Well, you could also just go to a fantasy world instead. Which brings us to the next show.
Let's move on to... Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon, aka Danmachi Season 5? What, like the last 2 episodes of Season 5?
Well, we got 2 more after this, but I think we're on a week break before we get another episode.
Right. Oh, JC staff.
Yep. Hey, we got 2 episodes at once. I'm not complaining. And hey, Ryu popped the fuck off. Ain't that right, Nmbr? Nmbr? Uh-oh.
She may have stepped away.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh my goodness, that makes me so angry. I've been saying stuff this. Whatever, it's fine.
Sorry, Nmbr.
It happens. It happens.
It does. Yes, Ryu is back and she's amazing. It's
Fucking double level up in one update is crazy.
yeah, we get the payoff for last season with her, so that was great.
And good to see Australia coming back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the waitresses at the at the hostess of fertility popping back up is really cool.
Yeah.
And they fucking turn the tide.
Yeah, they really do. I didn't know they were capable of all that.
Dude, they're fucking crazy strong. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing them body the Gulliver brothers was pretty fucking wild.
Yeah.
With some help from Aisha and was it Naza?
Yeah.
But
Ryu's fight with Dainsleif was crazy.
that was fucking intense.
That
Yeah,
was so good.
yeah, and then fucking heading.
Yeah, Hetty
What?
he's like, nah, I'm gonna follow my conviction
flip.
here, and I'm just gonna help y'all out.
Yeah, that was a crazy twist.
Yeah, and Bell called it.
Yeah, no, he did. He has a surprising amount of insight into people when they aren't girls in love with him.
Yeah.
Though Ryu manages to get through his thick fucking skull. No, the people did not die, they just got fucking bodied.
No, the war game has been lots of fun.
Mm-hmm. Really crazy, intense stuff. But yeah, this is like the turnaround point of the battle, and now we have only two major heavy hitters left on the Freya Familia side.
Yeah, and Otar is he's very, very strong. He's a bit tough.
Yeah, I might say he's quite strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking Mamma Mia coming in and teaching the whippersnapper a lesson.
With a shovel.
Yes. Hey, a shovel is a surprisingly effective weapon. Don't knock it.
Yeah.
But yeah, also Ryu fucking confessing to Belle.
Yeah. That just kind of happened. I saw it coming, weirdly enough, but...
Makes sense. It works in the moment, but damn. Yeah, no, it's real good stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see what the final two episodes of the season bring with them.
Yeah. Really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Also, all the fucking cat puns. Holy shit.
I've had enough of the cat puns. And then she does the chant, which doesn't have a single cat pun in it, and then she just ends it with a giant meow.
I mean, to be fair, it's quite a loud meow. Yeah, no, really good shit.
Yeah, Danmachi's fantastic.
Yeah, really loving this arc. Fuck the haters. Yeah, no, really good stuff. Unfortunately, I can't say much the same about the next show.
Let's move on to Medaka Kuroiwa is impervious to my charms.
Yeah, I dropped this.
Shocker.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit too reliant on fan service and not really doesn't really have a lot of strong writing behind it to compel me to keep watching it. Because basically the titular character is pretty flat in terms of his characterization, and the main girl isn't exactly a joy to watch either, in my opinion.
I mean,
yeah.
I think we talked about this in the premiere stream. It is a series that is so based on basically doing the same thing over and over again that one of its tags on Mal is love status quo.
Oh my god.
Like, it's not interested in doing anything other than, like, it's fucking, it's
Staying the
fucking brief.
course, yeah. This one is Medaka Kuroiwa is impervious to my charms. And, yeah, I am impervious to this show's charms because I did drop it.
I mean, does it have charms?
If you believe the opening sequence that plays in front of every episode, maybe, but no. Not really.
Yeah.
It's better than that one show that Nmbr dropped episode 1, but not by too much.
I mean, I don't especially remember that show, but I'm guessing low bar?
I'm pretty sure the bar is in the pits of hell, but yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that show! I just remembered. Yeah, that show sucked. That's awful.
Yeah, this show seems noticeably better, but not enough for me to actually continue watching it.
Yeah.
Here's what it is, though.
Yeah. I'm getting married to a girl I hate in my class. Is that the one we're all thinking of?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That just sucks.
Yeah. No, I mean, it looked bad. It looked real bad.
Mm-hmm. But yes, we should probably move on to something that I'm sure is substantially better than this by quite a margin.
Probably, even with my issues with it. Let's move on to Medalist. Okay. I'm gonna reiterate what I said in the premiere stream, which is that this is, at the very least, a decent to pretty good adaptation, and as a result, the show is still good. It is definitely still a good show. It just between what I talked about before with the cutting of some of the dialogue and some of the stuff and a couple characters in some cases, and the artwork not matching up to the mangas, it doesn't reach the level of the manga, which sucks because honestly, it's so goddamn good.
You can't really expect that from an adaptation, though. Like, you can't really,
The
match manga level visuals.
The artwork, yes, I can, at the end of the day, it's able to do a lot with what the manga does really well is works with, with the lighting, and is able to, really use, when it just needs to be a clear white background, when it needs to be a, purely dark background. It does really well in that sense. And, obviously the anime is in full color, which makes that a little bit harder. And obviously, there are no offense to them, the animators for this show are probably, not as good of artists as the person doing Medalist. And probably have had less time to work on it overall than the Medalist author has. I will blame them for the cutting dialogue and characters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, unfortunate.
Because, like, I don't know, as I said, it just... It removes the impact of some scenes for sure. Because in episode 2, there is a scene where, in the manga, Inori basically overhears a bunch of parents complaining that Tsukasa is coaching Inori so much instead of their own kids. He's going on and on about how talentless Inori must be, that she's, only still a beginner at her age. Which is then... you then get Hikaru coming in, who is this, like, fucking prodigy skater, and doesn't verbally tell his parents to fuck off, but skates out with Inori and skates with her, and that shuts them the fuck up. And again, the impact is still good in the anime, it's just not as good as it was in the manga. Like, the anime is an unfortunate situation of, because of how good the manga is, it's got so much to live up to. And like
back to Paul and all that.
Yeah, and like I've said, this is still a good show. It's just, not as good as I wish it was, sort of thing. Because I'm still, the main part of the story is still there. They've still got, really good scenes between Inori and Hikaru, and Inori basically, challenging Hikaru, despite the fact that, Hikaru is well on her way to going to the Olympics, whereas Inori has just started skating. Inori is still like, I will catch up to you one day, which, makes Hikaru really happy. They introduce a character in episode 3 called Ryoka, who is just fucking wonderful, because she is just a feral cat of a little girl. They still have this choice that Inori has to make coming up to her first competition. Does she focus on landing a double Salchow, double jump, which would be the more spectacular option, or does she focus on basically cementing her foundation and getting all the basics right? And what's really good about it is that Tsukasa doesn't just leave the choice up to Inori, saying that, look, you've got to get used to making these decisions, especially if you want to go as far as, the Olympics. But he also makes sure that she understands that no matter what, he won't be upset with what she picks, and he'll still make sure she wins, basically. So yeah, no, this is still a good show. Like I said, there is just an element of disappointment to me of, oh god, it could have been better.
Yeah, I get that.
But it is what it is. I'm glad that it's getting an adaptation. I do wish it wasn't Enki. I do. I'm sorry.
I mean,
just out of curiosity, who would be like? We'll assume that you'd get the best team available at that studio. What studio would you prefer do Medalist?
Studio Mappa, clearly.
I mean, they wouldn't be a bad choice. They've obviously got experience with figure skating.
Yeah.
Even if they, let it fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, I mean, look, I can throw out the usual big names.
Yeah.
KyoAni, Studio Whip, Bones, whatever. But I honestly don't know which would be best. I mean, the other thing that I don't know how true this actually is. This is a feeling that I'm getting, which is that the manga is a seinen, but it feels like Engi is adapting it to be more like a shonen.
That makes sense.
Yep, that tracks.
Because a large part of what really sort of got me interested in Medalist and has me enjoy Medalist is sort of how realistic it is, and how sort of like realistic in the sense of it really goes into detail how important starting figure skating young is, how important the money is, and all that sort of stuff. Like, I feel like it treats the sports aspect of it more seriously than your average shonen sports series would. And I don't feel like there's been as much emphasis on that in the anime. Like I said, okay. I could be off base here, but that's the feeling that I'm getting. But yeah, as said, it's still a good show. It's still a show that I'm gonna continue watching. But it is definitely a show that I'll probably continue watching with the volume of the manga that they're covering in front of me, going, what could have been. Like, this is definitely not a Lucifer situation, a Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer situation, but it is, as I said, it's still good. I just think it could be better. I've repeated that so many times now. We should move on to our next show, which is My Happy Marriage Season 2.
I'm glad you screenshot this because the writer of the original light novels was absolutely losing their mind on Twitter about it.
Good. I'm glad, because this looked fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah. This story arc continues to be very good, and it's very nice to see Mio actually, have a strong and positive influence on someone.
Yeah.
Like, you're current on this one, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
no,
good.
The scene with Karuko was great. I really
Yeah,
liked
no.
that one.
All the scenes with Karuko have been great.
Yeah, no, I've really been enjoying Karuko as a character thus far. Less enjoying the era appropriate sexism, but it is what it is.
It is era appropriate, as you said.
Yeah, it's era appropriate, unfortunately. But
yeah,
I mean, what I'm interested in terms of Karuko is what her ability is, because I don't think we've seen it, and we haven't been told what it is yet. I don't think.
I am curious about that. I am also curious about what it was that caused Kudo to initiate the breakup of that particular engagement.
I mean,
or at least I'm pretty sure Kudo's the one who initiated that.
Oh, almost certainly, yes. I mean, if nothing else, Karuko still seems to be in love with him, and we do know that Kyoka went through a lot of betroths before
Betrothals, yeah.
Before he got with Mio.
But yeah, also, his parents are quite the contrast with one another.
Yeah, Fuyu is more understandable, if still not particularly likable.
She's like a less awful version of Mio's mom, basically.
Stepmother.
Or not Mio's mom, Mio's stepmom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I at least see what made her act like the way she does. Meanwhile, Tadakio's just like the most chill-ass motherfucker around.
He really is. I mean, his ability is apparently ice, so that fits.
It really does. But it's very funny seeing the contrast between him and his wife.
Yeah. And speaking of parental things, Oh
God.
Oh, hi, Usui. What the fuck are you talking about with regards to beloved daughter?
I'm 90% sure that Usui thinks that Mio is basically the daughter that he should have had with Sue.
Oh, but that seems very likely at this point, and it's not good that he's just appeared in here.
Yeah, he's a creepy-ass motherfucker.
He really
also
is.
shows the childhood signs of psychopathy, so that's nice.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Those were some concerning flashbacks.
Yeah, no, like, that's like a step beyond just spyglass on ants. That's like a next level animal abuse of insects.
Well, probably
fuck?
Wouldn't be abuse of just the ants. It would be abuse of overfeeding to whatever fucking
the antlion. Yeah.
Well, was it an antlion?
I think it was an antlion.
Right.
Because in the middle of the sand pit.
Yeah. It could have been a spider. I don't know.
Regardless, really fucked up thing.
Very fucked up, yeah.
But yeah, Usui is shaping up to be a very interesting antagonist, and also a very disturbing one.
I mean, he's leading a cult. That's, not great.
Yeah, disturbing and cult come with each other's territory.
Yeah. I am glad that they, whatchamacallit, that Mio and Karuko actually talked about their issues instead of, letting it fester for a while.
Yes, exactly. Also, it was very nice that Mio stood up to the assholes who were talking shit about Karuko.
Oh, yeah, no,
behind her
definitely.
back.
Oh, definitely.
Also, fucking, hey, if you're, the fucking call-out she gives that one dude is just fucking great.
I mean, exactly. It's so fucking stupid. And it's just like, well, of course she's cleaning this shit up because you pricks are fucking animals and left the kitchen in that state. Like, Jesus Christ. And hey, try and hit Mio, because if Karuko doesn't murder you on the spot, Kyoko will.
Yeah. Yes, let's hurt the beloved fiance of our extremely powerful commander.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah. And it's, it's definitely love, because, I mean, instant denial from Kyoko that the commissary food could ever be better than Mio's. Instant
Yes.
denial. But yeah, it looks like the season is going to start ramping up now, which, oh boy.
We're in the fun time zone now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I imagine next episode we will see Karuko's ability. I sure hope she gets to use it, seeing as Usui is there.
Yep.
Because if she doesn't get to use it, it's probably a not good sign for what happens with Mio there.
Yeah, no. That'd be a great time for anyone involved.
Also, I didn't realize the Emperor was still alive.
Oh yeah, he just gets fucking kidnapped.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was still.
brief
I honestly thought he died buried under some rubble.
I mean, it'd be no worse than what he deserves, but unfortunately, no, he is still alive, and fortunately, he has been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Sucks for him.
Yeah. Oh no! What a shame. What a shame.
Oh no. Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah. No, My Happy Marriage has still been good. Still been very good. Been enjoying the dub still.
Dub's really good. Yeah.
I always forget that I am actually watching it dubbed for some reason.
Yeah. Same.
Like, I'll just start the episode and then I'll hear English voices and just go, oh yeah, I am watching it dubbed. That's right.
But yes, we should move on to a bit more lighthearted show.
Yes, let us move on to Okitsura fell in love with an Okinawan girl, but I just wish I know what she's saying. No, to you, whatever. I dropped this.
Aww. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a case of, look, I've got so many fucking shows on a Saturday to begin with.
Yeah.
And it was just a case of, I was enjoying the show to a certain extent. I just didn't feel like I was enjoying it enough to justify continuing watching it.
Oh, that's the worst kind of reason to drop something.
It's
Or be forced to drop something, rather.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean,
hey, maybe if you have enough time towards the end of the season, you can catch back up.
Maybe. This is definitely a show where I would probably consider considering watching it more if it was dubbed. But unfortunately, this is a show that was never going to get dubbed.
It's kind of a hard show to dub,
Yeah.
in fairness. Like, the whole theme of the show is linguistics.
I mean,
And, like...
what would they adapt it into in English? Fucking, like,
Well, I don't think they could adapt it into English, in fairness. Like, the whole situation between the Okinawan native language and Japanese is pretty unique.
I was just trying to think of an English language equivalent, and
Maybe Welsh?
maybe. I think they'd struggle to find a Welsh voice actor who could speak Welsh.
That's,
At least
something I
one they
haven't
were
thought.
willing to employ. Because I imagine all the Welsh voice actors who speak Welsh are, unsurprisingly, based in and around Wales.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not the biggest... Crunchyroll aren't the biggest fans of remote voice acting, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not.
There's
I was-
Sidok VA, but he's in Japan.
Ironically enough. Yeah.
I mean, I was
On the opposite side of the world.
I was thinking of what is it, Cajun? Is it Cajun? What was the fucking accent that
Oh, Cajun, yes. The Cajun accent, yes.
what
Yeah.
fucking Gambit had in Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Raging Cajun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that could maybe work.
Yes. Regardless, I do think this show is cute. Which episode did you get to when you dropped it?
So I got to the end of episode 3, and then it was the cliffhanger, and I was like, oh, fuck you for that. Went and checked the start of episode 4. Okay, he didn't actually confess. Because if he'd actually confessed, or if he'd actually confessed, that might have made me more interested in continuing watching to see what they'd do with that. But no, backed out of it. Like a coward.
Mm-hmm. In fairness, I don't know if the show is actually going to have him wind up getting with her.
I don't know.
Because the show, especially so far, has done a lot more to set up not Hyun, but Hana as the
Yeah.
love interest.
Yeah. Like I said, I did enjoy the show to an extent. As I said, it was just a case of
Time.
time, and I just, as I said, I looked at episode 4 and just went, I'm just not that interested in watching more of this at this stage. Like every other show, I could say, okay, I do actually have, a fairly strong interest in watching this, and. Again, it is unfortunate that it has landed on a day where I've already got, fucking, for the moment, 5 shows. And they are 5 pretty fucking good shows. The worst one is Blue Miburo, which has an additional sort of plus of being, historically based, so that is always going to interest me.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah,
it's unfortunate timing, but as I said,
I will say I have been enjoying this show quite a bit. There has been some interesting developments, not least of which is one of the broader friend group, the other girl in the group, Yai, figuring out that Hana has a crush on Teru and setting up scenarios to help that ship along.
I think I did see her figuring that out, because I think that was episode 3.
It was episode 4, I believe, that that happened in the back half.
Was
I
it?
could be
Oh.
misremembering.
Which character did you
But
say
it
again?
might. Which character? Yai.
Yai. Yeah. No, it was episode 3.
Okay. The one where they visit the snack bar?
Yeah. And
Okay, that was episode 3.
and one of the boys took Kana's translation job, and Kana was looking at that boy like she was gonna murder him.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good bet. But yeah, now there's been some good stuff. I actually did manage to watch today's episode, and it had a bit where towards the end where a typhoon hits, and Teru is wildly unprepared for how a Okinawan typhoon hits a lot different than a Tokyo typhoon. And it turns out that Kana actually braved at least part of the storm to go check on him because he wasn't responding to text messages.
Yeah. Has there been any indication or like any talk about whether he came here on his own, came here with parents, or what?
So he's currently living on his own. However, his dad was going to come out to visit before the typhoon prevented him from coming in.
Right.
I don't recall seeing any other information about his family situation.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a case. I think it's a case of him wanting to study in Okinawa and his parents working in the mainland Japan area. But yeah, I'm still enjoying this one. It's a cute, fun show. But we should probably move on to a show that is substantially longer than this one.
Let's move on to One Piece.
So we got the flashback, and we also got Zoro fucking one-shotting Hody.
Couldn't happen to
My
a nicer
goat.
guy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we get the whole Fishman Island flashback, which I still think is one of the best in the series. Though it does tie in very strongly to the arc and its overall themes, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's I've actually seen some clips of the updated version and the original version side by side, and holy shit, what a glow up! Like they actually worked pretty hard to update this to look a lot better and both more in line with the manga and just overall a better quality update.
That's great.
Yeah. There have been some tiny bits and pieces cut here and there, like the guards reacting to Shirahoshi's siblings trying to cheer her up when Otohime gets assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's still a pretty strong adaptation of the arc, especially much more so than the original airing of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, in retrospect, I think Fishman Island is kind of underrated. I think mostly just because Hody isn't, like, a particularly strong villain in his own right, and also because of the Sanji nosebleed gags. But those are only minor detractions from the overall strength of the arc, in my opinion.
And again, part of the issue is it is the first arc after fucking Marineford.
Marineford was always going to be a tough act to follow, let alone with like a time skip coming basically right afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, still good stuff.
Alright, let's move on then to Orb about the movement of the Earth.
Have you all seen today's episode?
No.
I have,
I have as
unfortunately,
well.
because
Oh, unfortunately, great.
God damn it!
I'm heartbroken.
Yes. We won't say more. We'll save that for the mid-season.
Yeah, we'll save it for next time.
Oh, great. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to that.
Fun time, Bill.
Yeah, you should be really excited, Bill.
Great.
Have a
Be really
great
excited.
time.
Wonderful.
But yeah, So Yolenta is actually the one in charge of the Heretic Liberation Front.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Shock. Surprise.
I mean, I initially thought it would be Grabowski.
I mean, that would also make sense, but Yolenta fits a lot better.
No, Yolenta is a better choice for sure. And I imagine it's going to be real unfortunate when Nowak learns that Yolenta is the leader of the HLF.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jesus.
Draka, meanwhile, has been a very interesting protagonist of this arc.
Yeah.
Draka is a capitalist, unfortunately.
She is. She is. However, in the times that she finds herself in, that makes her less of a bastard than the church by quite a margin.
I mean, yeah, because going to episode 16, with the Inquisitor who was interrogating Schmidt, like the lack of self-awareness there when he said, "You seem to have blind faith in your own righteousness," like.
Yeah.
My God, man, can you not understand that you're throwing fucking boulders from your glass house?
Father Clot, I'd like to introduce you to Friar Kettle.
You fucking hypocrite.
Yeah. Oh, God. They're so fucking full of themselves.
Same with fucking, Ash, whatever, however the fuck you pronounce it. Like, maybe, just maybe, people are rebelling against the orthodoxy because you torture and execute people without a second thought. Just maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a bunch of dumbasses who aren't willing to self-examine.
Mm-hmm.
Also, gotta say, Nowak has really fucking let himself go.
Yeah, he really didn't deal with Yolenta's death very well, in inverted commas.
He could look way worse.
He could.
He could,
Yeah.
but he is very much on a downturn.
I mean, he still looks relatively okay. I mean, fucking Patoki is just dead after 35 years.
Yeah.
At least Nowak's still going.
I mean, yeah, it's not too surprising given, medieval life expectancies.
Mm.
Even if it is the time of the Protestant Reformation at this stage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think life expectancies really improved substantially until after, like, the Renaissance or the Enlightenment.
No. But yeah, I mean, we're still talking sort of mid 1500s basically.
I think it's actually like early 1500s, because
the start of the show was early 1500s. We're now 35 years on. I would say we are pretty much in mid 1500s at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah,
not to mention, I wasn't able to find anything about the Reformation in Poland. I did, however, find a Wikipedia page about the Counter-Reformation in Poland. Sorry, the Kingdom of P.
Yes. Do the words violent crackdown appear anywhere in there?
Probably. I haven't given it a full read. I haven't really had the time, but it's probably not a great sign that the Counter-Reformation has a Wikipedia page and the Reformation doesn't.
Yeah, that's not great. Not great.
I mean, it's Reformation started in Germany, and it has specific entries for Nordic countries, Britain, France, Spain, Italy, Slovenia, and Greece, as well as English North America.
Mm-hmm.
But the Reformation is basically the start of Protestantism.
Yeah.
Yes, it is off limits, Meep. I have not watched it. I did not have time.
Oh, also, they changed the fucking OP.
Yeah.
Again. the shot with Badeni now has him in his noose.
Yeah, I noticed that. I did definitely
Yeah,
notice that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's fun.
look, it is a rare fucking OP that, let's be honest, it's still relatively the same. You know, there are still very much the same shots throughout, and there are only a few that have, you know, changed throughout the story. And it's a rare one of those OPs that, honestly, I feel like has gotten better and better as we've gone.
Yeah.
Yes. They've tweaked some things here and there, but it's mostly stayed the same, and yeah, it just keeps getting better as we learn more about the characters. Also, fucking Schmidt praising the sun.
Yeah, Schmidt is definitely just a different kind of fanatic. Honestly, in a sense,
absolutely.
I kind of love him though.
He's an absolutely fascinating character. Absolutely fascinating character. Because in a sense, he's even more of a fanatic than most Christians. Because of just the insane amount of faith he has in his belief that God has a plan for everyone and everything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you have Draka being an ardent atheist, and Schmidt just does not know how to process that.
Like
it's so funny because Draka's like, oh, so you don't believe in God, right? And they're like, what? What?
There's just like I've misread the situation. Oh no.
But yeah, God, this show is so fucking good.
Yeah. Like I said, that fucking conversation between Draka and Schmidt in the caravan, so fucking interesting. It was like so interesting to watch.
And then you have her conversation with Yolenta.
Yeah,
too,
no, the Yolenta conversation.
Really good.
Yolenta conversation was really good as well. I will say, I'm not sure I trust Frey. He's asking a lot of questions.
He is the most sus of them, yes.
Yeah.
Also, the bit with Yolenta talking with Oxy across time had me tearing up a little bit.
Oxy in the chair was a punch to the gut.
The show is brutal to its main characters. Good God.
It's brutal.
Also, speaking of which, fucking Draka's uncle just gets fucking ganked unceremoniously.
I mean, he kind of had it coming.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, no.
I'm
he's
so
a
upset.
He's a rat bastard, but like the show is merciless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so upset that he's dead.
Yeah.
Could have happened to him.
I wasn't even that upset. It was like, oh, okay, well.
It is kind of funny how he just died from a stray sword slash.
Yeah. I mean,
this show isn't a stranger to that, as we've seen.
I mean, literally, my note for that event was, "Whoops, Uncle is dead. Can't say I'm upset."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this continues to be, you know, a really, really good show. That's honestly getting more and more intriguing as they go.
I honestly think that if this show sticks to the landing, it will be one of the all-time greats.
I think so. I mean, I will certainly remember this show for a long time.
I also think it's
the kind of show that sticks with you.
Yeah, I also think it's really interesting that it's Oxy's book that has survived these 25 years compared to Bedeni's research.
Yeah.
Or even Rafal's research.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty wild, especially since Oxy started the series as illiterate.
Well, as Yolenta said, it's the power of the written word.
Yeah.
But yes, Orb, a very, very good show. Looking forward to being hurt by the next episode.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. It's great.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Anyway, let's move on to ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, Season 3. Part 2, I guess?
Kinda?
Yes, kinda.
It was wild of White Fox to start off the core with just Priscilla doing that.
Yeah.
Do I want
You
to know?
gotta say that she literally just strips down in front of the songstress so she can change to her battle gear.
Yeah.
Right?
I will say the songstress is a woman of culture.
Yeah. She was very much into that.
Can't blame her.
No.
But yeah, it actually does go show Priscilla's characterization a little bit though, because she is utterly unabashed about her body.
Yeah.
In front of both her allies and her rivals, because Anastasia just walks in and she's completely unfazed. But yeah, speaking of Priscilla though, she probably got off better on the matchups than most everyone else outside of Reinhardt and Subaru.
Yeah.
Because most everyone else is having a bad time.
Can we talk about how Reinhardt just has just these blessings that are just the most OP shit ever? Yeah, the blessing of the Phoenix. Yeah, I can't die. Blessing of telepathy. Yeah, I can use telepathy. Okay, dude. Sure.
I do love the bit where he's like, I don't want to die again. That would be rather not fun. And Subaru just doesn't say anything, but you can tell what he's thinking.
I'm assuming there'd be a lot of uses of asterisks in the middle of words.
Yes. But yeah, no, Subaru actually kind of has it on easy mode because Reinhardt is hacks as hell, so all he and Amelia have to do is figure out what the fuck Regulus's weakness is.
Yeah.
Because as it stands, it's just unstoppable force and immovable object.
Yeah. Regulus is unfortunately invincible roll tile card.
Yes. I still need to watch the season 2 of that.
You should. It's good.
Yeah. But yeah, Regulus getting repeatedly bodied but not taking any damage is pretty funny.
Yeah. Also, God, Regulus is such a piece of shit.
Oh, absolutely. What a fucking asshole.
Do this, but it's just the shit he says. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill all of my wives, and it's gonna be your fault. It's like, how is it? How? What's wrong with you?
He's an entitled piece of shit who thinks that he should get everything he wants.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, it is very satisfying to see Reinhardt absolutely body him, even if he's not taking much damage from it.
No, it's very fun.
Also, the bit with Reinhardt talking about his sword only coming out for worthy opponents, while Subaru chuckles in the background.
That was so great. It was like, oh, the sword doesn't think you're worthy.
Subaru's just trying his damnedest not to laugh and failing.
That's so funny. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you get Priscilla and the songstress going off to fight Wrath, and I actually think Priscilla can handle herself pretty well in that one.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah. I'm more worried about literally everyone else.
Yeah.
Especially fucking Krush and Ferris, rather.
Yeah, they weren't really ready for that.
No one
And
was
neither was
fucking
I. The episode ends on that reveal, so I'm like, oh, great. That's awesome. That's what they need right now.
I do have some hope, because do remember that Priscilla mentioned leaving Al behind.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll help there. I am very concerned about Felt and her crew, because all they have for backup is Otto, and they're up against one of the fucking Gluttonies.
Yeah. They'll be fine, right?
Uh-huh. Also, Julius made the stupid decision to reveal his fucking name to the other Gluttony.
Yeah, he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's not going to go well.
Yeah.
And Wilhelm has the unfortunate task of having to fight his wife to the death.
Yeah.
Also, I was kind of half expecting her to be kind of sort of rotted a little bit because, brought back from the dead. But no,
she looks pretty good for a corpse.
Yeah. Wilhelm gets the whole, oh god, you're as beautiful as the day I lost you look.
Yeah.
So that fight's going to be very emotionally intense. Even even if Garfield isn't having a good time.
Poor Garfield. He's been going through it this whole time.
Garfield's just been having a rough time this season.
Yeah, it's not a great time to be Garfield.
It isn't. But yeah, I am kind of surprised that Otto did have that little trump card in his pocket. I don't think it's gonna wind up doing much, but I hope it winds up doing more than I expect.
Yeah? Don't underestimate Otto. If I learned anything from this show, don't underestimate Otto.
Yeah. Yeah, the Archbishop still remained fucking terrifying, especially Capella.
Yeah.
God, that fucking shape-shifting. Ugh.
And she's just doing that just to be creepy.
Just to fuck with people, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've literally just kicked off the core, so I'm very curious to see how this whole thing plays out. I do think at least one of the Archbishops is going to fall here. The question is who and how, and/or how many.
I think we'll lose at least one of the gluttonies.
Yeah. My money is on one of the gluttonies and/or Regulus.
Yeah.
Because Regulus is kind of too powerful to not be beaten at this stage. Otherwise, he's going to be a massive problem down the line.
Plus, we already have a good understanding of what his deal is. We can live without him.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think that out of all the other ones besides Regulus or the Gluttonies, I do think Priscilla has the best chance of beating and/or killing Wrath.
Yeah. Probably.
Capella, on the other hand, is the best situated to, make it out to see another day.
Yeah.
At least from what little we know of Al's abilities. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what comes next. I am very excited for this core.
Yep. ReZero is good fun. I put the fun in quotation marks.
I was gonna say, fun is not a word I would necessarily use here.
It can be fun. I don't know. I had some fun. I had some fun watching Regulus get knocked around. That was fun.
That was fun. But yes, we should move on to a show that is much more overtly fun.
Let's move on then to the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world.
Perfect screenshot.
Yeah.
God.
I can't believe he died after we got to meet him. That's crazy.
The whole montage of those two trying to work together and Red accidentally exploding Logi repeatedly was great.
Yeah.
I do like the additions to the main cast. They bounce off the other two pretty well.
I do. Logi's kind of a piece of shit, but he's growing on me.
He is a piece of shit, but his dynamic with the rest of the cast is pretty fun.
Also, I think I got spoiled on something, so I won't say it here, but Logi is not his real name.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So when that gets revealed, we're gonna have fun with that.
Yes.
Because just be wary of the Wikipedia article on this show.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of crazy shit, well, not necessarily that, but very interesting plot hook for the overall storyline of hunting down those demon seeds. And we're already introduced to one dude who does some weird ass shit with his.
Kind of OP shit, really.
Yeah, no, it's pretty OP. Like, being able to teleport your mooks like that is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Especially when they're as strong as that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, do gotta love the whole bit of Teltina clocking that there may be a thing going on between our two leads and tricking Red into jumping into the spa.
Yeah.
we just hear them screaming in the background. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
Too bad let's Logi being a dick and stealing Red's transformation thing.
Yeah, that. Not only was that a shitty move, that was also kind of a dumb move.
Oh, absolutely. It was
Like,
petty
Logi,
as
I
fuck.
get it. You're insecure. That's understandable. Like, I get it, but like, you're kind of throwing everyone's lives away.
Oh yeah, no, he was being a dumbass for petty reasons.
Yeah, he has a cool sword though.
He does have a cool sword. That is a pretty neat power set.
Yeah.
But yeah, also fucking Yidra just suffering in the background trying to hold up the barrier while everyone else is talking and arguing.
Yeah.
That was a good bit. And then she collapses afterwards and Tina's like, there, you did great.
I feel sorry for her. She's kind of the only real sane one here. Teltina is sane, but she eggs everything else on. She's kind of just into this, so...
She is absolutely a gadfly in the ointment.
Yeah. Yidra just has to deal with a bunch of clowns.
Yes. Look, if you're driving a clown car, you shouldn't complain about all the honking.
Yeah.
But yes, it's very, very fun. This is honestly one of the best isekai to come out in a while. Partially just because the core concept is very fun and creative. Compared to the bog standard bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm having a good time with this one.
Yeah. It's good fun. I like it a lot. I wish the production values were a bit better, but...
Honestly, I don't mind the production values too much because the comedic time is still on point.
Yeah, it's not like bad, but like
It's
it just
workmanlike.
yeah, it could be a bit prettier.
Yeah. Also, the fucking joke about the stat sheet was really good.
Oh, that was hilarious! Oh my god,
Why are punch power and kick power separate?
they replaced that shit with his special DVD explaining all of his powers. Which it's extra funny to me because I've actually seen one of those with a common writer, so I know what that shtick is all about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I saw her pull up the stat screen. I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of those dumbass isekai generic RPG things. And no, they did a funny gag with it. I am so happy with this show and how it's fucking with both isekai and tokusatsu things. You know, it's just a good time.
yeah, it's very fun.
Conventions, that's the word I was looking for. God damn it.
Yeah.
Anyways, are you ready to move on to another fun show?
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on to Sakamoto Days.
The show's pretty hard-boiled. No, nothing.
No. So I'm watching the dub. I don't know if.
I am also watching the dub. Yes.
Okay, cool. So Obiguro, voiced in the dub by Lexi Cabrera, better known as Alexa Bliss of WWE.
Oh dang, that's nice.
Yeah. I did not realize this until like a week ago. Because she's especially been getting talked about recently, because she's only just made her return to the ring after a while out. And then somebody mentioned it in the comments of the wrestling website I go on, and I was like, what? Fuck off! Went and checked. Holy shit. But yes, I have not watched today's episode of that, so I don't know how that whole thing, plays out. But certainly Boiled, voiced by the wonderful Sungwon Cho,
Yes.
is very entertaining. It's a very good matchup with Sakamoto. Episode 3 we had Tatsu, which again quite entertaining. Episode So it's interesting because I did have a quick glance through the first sort of few chapters of the manga. They did actually skip like 2 chapters right at the start.
Interesting. Maybe they thought it just broke up the flow a little bit too much.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they definitely wanted to introduce Xiaotang, to get to that sort of, main trio, so to speak.
Yeah, the main trio works really well together.
Mm.
Yeah, the voice cast is all really good too. Fucking Matt Mercer, I was not expecting to be in this cast, and he does a great job.
I mean, Matt Mercer is great, but yes, he's doing a fantastic job.
Oh, I didn't realize that Alex Lee was voicing Nagumo.
Yeah. That was certainly an interesting encounter as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it's very fun. The fucking fight between Shin and that one poison wielding dude was really good.
Tatsu, yeah.
Tatsu, yeah.
Voiced by
that was a good
Zanobus.
fight. That's where I recognize the voice from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. No, that was a good fight. But then you get the whole thing with fucking Boyled's backstory is very funny, just because he's like, "Oh, I thought we were rivals." It's like, huh? Who?
Yeah. It's not even considered him a rival. Boyled considered Sakamoto a friend, and Sakamoto didn't even have a single idea who Boyled was for most of that fight.
Yeah. Also, it's wild that the fight actually caused him to exert enough to lose all of his body fat. Like, what the fuck is Sakamoto's deal?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So when they were going through the haunted house, they got surprised by an assassin that Sakamoto took out with 3 swift blows. There was a part of me that wanted that to be just a regular haunted house worker who just got concussed 3 times over.
It would have been very funny, but at the same time, it would have been a bit mean.
Would have been a bit mean, but it would have been so funny.
Yeah.
Also, Xiaotang's anxiety medication just being booze.
The drunken fist strikes once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this has been pretty fun.
Yeah. I have seen some comparisons between this and Spy Family, but I think this feels different enough and interesting enough to stand on its own pretty comfortably. I do wish the animation was a bit cleaner and crisper, but it's still a fun time, and the choreography generally makes up for it.
Yeah.
But speaking of well choreographed action shows,
Oh, okay.
unless you want to still talk about this one,
I mean, I did want to talk about the fact that Xiaotang's previous job before this was burying yard trimmings for her dad, let's say. Which is a reference you probably don't get, Jack, but somebody else might. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a reference to the Simpsons movie.
Okay.
I haven't seen that since I was a small child.
God, it's been a while since I've seen the Simpsons movie.
That is an old movie.
That movie came out in 2007. That's almost 20 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah. Don't remind me, please. Dear God, don't remind me of that.
Mill, I'm sorry, you're old.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
I don't think so. I mean, there's not there's not a huge amount to discuss. There's not a huge amount of nuance here. It is what it says on the tin thus far.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's different enough from Spy Family to be its own thing. I do still like Spy Family more, and I think Spy Family is a better series at this stage. However, I am more than willing to give this show a chance to shine on its own merits.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm having enough fun with that. And again, it's dubbed, which always helps. I'm probably watching.
It's a good dub too.
It's a good dub as well. I'm probably watching more dubs this season than I have since probably pre-pandemic, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think. So My Happy Marriage, Dr. Stone, Guild Receptionist, Daima, Medalist, Blue Lock, and Sakamoto Days. That's 7. Can maybe add an 8 if you include the fact that I'm watching both sub and dub for Ameku. So yeah, it's a good show. It's a good season for dubs. I'm glad.
Hey, that's definitely a positive.
But yes, let us move on to Shangri-La Frontier Season 2.
Oh, this show is so fucking fun. That fucking Lycagon fight was insane.
Yeah, no, that was great. And even though it wasn't the real Lycagon fight.
Yeah, no, it was Lycagon's shadow, but they now have a way to find the real Lycagon, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Also, the fucking chibi Lycagon head just popping up and eating Sunraku was hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they go on to fight off the actual area boss, and we don't actually see it because Emule is unconscious for basically the entire fight. That is actually a pretty funny gag.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we have the start of the next story arc, which has a little bit of a seg into it with Sunraku getting his tarot card inspired bonus skill thingamadoo.
Yeah. Which turns healing potions into coin toss, so that's fun.
Mm-hmm. Hey, he thinks the buff is worth it.
He says that now.
Oh, he's absolutely going to regret it later, but still.
We already know how he feels about RNG.
That it screws him over constantly.
Yeah.
I still love the fucking thing of him imagining the RNG goddess just flipping him off.
He's not imagining that. That's canon.
Yes.
She's actually there.
Mm-hmm. Also, imagine how fucking angry Okitsura is probably will be when he finds out that Sunraku reached the fucking level cap.
Yeah. And also has 2 new unique scenarios.
I mean, they did drop in a line about how Okitsura is calling in a favor from Sunraku and Pencilgon, which definitely isn't going to go horribly wrong for them.
Esports arc. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm actually really looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Also, fucking Pencilgon just manipulating her way into the fucking was it
Oh yeah.
into that guild.
Yeah, the one guild shop. Yeah.
And just stealing shit and fucking booking it when she gets found out.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we get to meet Rust and Mold's Shangri-La Frontier avatars, and they are very interesting. Cool looks for them.
Yeah.
Also, just the fucking joke of the pirate captain actually being a small child is pretty funny.
Yeah. Funny little shit. I like how you have to trigger the unique scenario. You have to just beat the shit out of everyone in the bar. That's funny.
Yeah. Also, just Sunraku actually turning out to be pretty patient with the kid is the joke.
Yeah. He's used to pests like that.
Yep. Also, we got Rei and Akane tagging along, which I'm not going to complain about. They have really good dynamic with Sunraku.
I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just wondering, how did that happen?
Yo ho ho, he took my gum gum. I refuse to apologize for that joke.
No. But you should.
Never! Anyways. But yeah, this storyline is going to be interesting. I do wonder how much of the remainder of the season it's going to take up. Because based off of the OP, we are going to probably get some of that esports arc. Speaking of the OP, though, the new OP fucking slaps.
I like it. It's not my favorite, but I do like it.
Yeah. I do think both of Season 1's OPs are better than Season 2's OPs.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this one better than the first OP of the season.
I don't know. Kind of a toss-up for me.
The fucking chanting really does it for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, always gotta love shenanigans that wind up with at least one person stowing away in a barrel.
Yeah. No, good show. Fun show. Looking forward to what's next.
Mm-hmm. But moving from one video game related show to another.
Moving on to Solo Leveling Season 2, Arise from the Shadow.
I actually did not watch today's episode. So.
I managed to watch today's episode. It is fucking crazy action stuff.
I'm sure it is. I look forward to it. But for now, we have confirmation that Jinwoo does not stink. Let's give him a round of applause. He does not stink, everyone.
He is not a smelly ass gamer. Congratulations.
He is not a stinky, sweaty gamer.
Good for him. He can work shower.
Yeah. Good for him.
It's sad that we're starting that low.
Okay, let's actually talk about some of the actual positives.
Yeah.
The OP is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I do really like the OP.
It's Lisa and Sawano, and also one of the dudes from Stray Kids, so it's just all around chemical formula for success there.
Yeah.
I actually think this season is a lot better with the story and character writing than the first season. Because,
because we already have, like, the introduction of Jinwoo's freaking dad, and that's, like, the most interesting plot thing that's happened in a while, so...
Yeah. Also, it's actually allowing, like, the broader, like, world and characters to get involved in the plot rather than just being the Jinwoo fucking shit up show. Which, there still is a lot of that going on, but there's actually more characters involved now, and it's can actually expand in scope beyond him just doing it in secret, basically.
Thing is, we got like some scenes with those characters before, but I didn't really give a shit. I still don't really give a shit, but I give more of a shit than I used to. So hey, baby steps.
I do appreciate that Sha Hei-in hasn't done jack shit, but that's still better than just it's still actually, characterizing her and introducing her properly in terms of, how she fits into the setting.
Yeah, they're easing her in, which I'm fine with. I don't have an issue with that.
Yes. Also, like, none of the other S-rank hunters have done jack or shit. So,
yeah. especially the one asshole who fought Jinwoo's dad and he got bodied. That was funny.
He got bodied so badly.
Yeah.
They wrecked a city in the process. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And this is in America, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of S ranks, Jinwoo is unofficially in S rank now.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. He's still unofficial, so he's still technically E rank, but once he gets that verification, he'll actually be not a fraud.
Yeah. I do like that he does concede, like, he doesn't join the association specifically because he wants to keep fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, his ultimate goal is that freaking potion thing for his mom.
Yeah.
Also, I think he just enjoys fighting a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. There's a bit of the Blood Knight in him.
I think he's getting a kick out of this.
Yes. Yes, he absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just overall really well produced show as well. Like, I have yet to see like any serious examples of like bad like animation or like glaring CGI bullshit.
No, not really. It's been consistently a great looking show. And when it pops off, it really, really pops off.
Yup.
No,
Like,
overall, it's been really, really fun so far. This season especially.
yeah, no, it's good. It's very good.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on then to Sorairo Utility. I fucking adore this show.
This show is extremely fun. I did not expect it to be this fun. I'm not caught up. I think I stopped at like episode 3 or 4. Whichever episode was the one where she wants to buy a new club.
Episode 4.
And,
episode 4, which was probably the best episode so far.
It's so good. It's so good.
Because it's just so fucking like unhinged and hammy. Like, those 3 fucking store workers, Jesus.
Yeah, that's this show at its best when it's just goofy.
Yeah. The fact that Minami like negotiated the fucking discount up, like. Oh god, no! This has been very, very fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Minami has just been such an entertaining protagonist. Like, she is obviously a mobile gamer, but not in an overpowering sense. Not she does go to the sort of gaming well, but not too often in my mind.
Yeah. It hasn't really gotten to be too much, and usually when it happens, it can be pretty funny.
And the introduction of Ayaka to the main trio has also been very fun, because certainly she and Haruka have a very, very fun dynamic.
And she takes a liking to Minami instantly.
Yeah.
So is this the other show you were mentioning when you talked about having possible concerns about bait?
Yes.
Then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not letting myself get drawn into it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you can still ship it even if it's not likely to become canon.
Yeah.
No, I mean...
That's like the shipper's motto.
I mean, we can and will, but,
In terms of actual sort of semi-plot stuff, I guess, Haruka was definitely like a Japanese national rep who burnt out, right?
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Especially considering the fact that Ayaka seems to be going to Haruka for lessons. Considering Ayaka is the older of the two, Haruka is, I think, like a third year in high school, and Ayaka is a college student. Just convenient, because it means she can drive them everywhere.
Yeah.
And Oh yeah, the bait gets a little bit worse in episode 5. That's right, I remember now.
Oh boy! All right, I look forward to it.
Great bait, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm just really enjoying the show. I mean, look, I think the what's the word I'm looking for? What shows me how much I'm enjoying the show is the fact that multiple episodes, I've only really noticed how long it's been in the episode right at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, to me, that's a sign of a good show, that I am enjoying it so much I'm not even thinking about how long it's been. Like, it was similar with Ameku. Like, I only really noticed how long I'd been watching, how long it'd taken me to watch those episodes at the very end. Where I go, oh yeah, I did spend all that time with the episode paused researching stuff, that's right. But yeah, no, I just... This is a fairly simple, you know, cute girls do cute things, i.e. golf show, and it's just a really well executed one. The production values are actually pretty good. Like, they are certainly going all out with Minami's face game, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she there was one scene in episode 4 where with her face, the way her mouth just moved was crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, no, this and Ameku are definitely the front runners in terms of new shows for me. Like,
yeah, I'm enjoying this way more than I expected. Which I didn't think it'd be a bad show, but I didn't think it'd be like this enjoyable.
I mean, I was certainly hoping it would be good, considering it was an original. It's a sports anime. I don't think I was expecting to enjoy it as much as I have.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, what I will say, episode 5 and 6 are sort of a not really a two-parter, but 2 episodes sort of mini arc of Minami going to getting another round of golfing, basically, which is very fun. But yeah, that's right. So obviously the mid card in episode 4, one of they've got like some really like well drawn like illustrations in the mid card. And one of the ones in episode 4 was of the manager and his 2 workers being like posed incredibly dramatically. I'm like, huh, that seems weird. Literally right after they do the same pose, I'm fairly sure. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Those mid-episode cards, specifically that one especially, are pretty reminiscent of Gurren Lagann's.
Yeah. But yeah, no, really enjoying Sorairo. There's not a lot to say in terms of plot, because it is just mostly Minami learning to golf and the stuff associated with that. But it is just so
goofy
fun.
shenanigans.
It's goofy shenanigans, and it's pretty well written for what it is.
Yeah, it's good fun. I like it a lot.
Let's move on to something that has been a little less fun with Tasokare Hotel.
Not fun in a good way or not fun in a bad way?
For the most part, in a good way. Episode 2 was basically there's been a new guest or guests each episode that the story is focused on. Episode 2, it was a guy who was basically addicted to gambling and basically stole money from his own mum, got into trouble with loan sharks, and then was buried alive. Turns out he was actually still alive, and the resolution was basically him realizing he needed to, treat his mother better. Episode 3 is where it really starts, though. Because it introduces a guy called Osato Masuki, who at first glance is a detective, which, would be pretty good in this, because you're trying to figure out stuff about people. Neko realizes throughout the episodes that Masuki is not a detective, he is actually a serial killer.
Oh.
And initially it looks like he is going to leave, and then he turns back around and comes back to the hotel. That plays a part in episode 4 because we get 2 new guests at once, Nagomu and Kyoe, who are actually childhood friends and know each other. Turns out that they got in an argument, and Nagomu was I think Nagomu was killed, but Kyoe was just injured in an accident while they were having their argument. Like a bunch of stuff fell on them, and unfortunately Masuki stirred the shit there, because they were once they realized they'd been arguing, they continued to argue. And Masuki stirred the shit with Nagomu. So basically, what was revealed in episode 3 is if you kill somebody in the hotel, you get instantly sent to hell.
Oh, Jesus.
Masuki manipulated Nagomu into believing that if she killed Kyoe as the person who technically killed her, then she would get to come back to life. Nagomu certainly, technically, I mean, she slashed Kyoe. I don't think Kyoe died in inverted commas to stabbing herself in the neck with a sword, but certainly Nagomu got the blame for it and was sent to hell because of Masuki. Which was
Sounds like a fun time.
which was a very dark ending. Not one I expected from this show. I really, really, really hope Masuki gets his comeuppance at some point, because holy fucking shit. Yeah, that was a very, very shocking one, and I'm glad I was initially only going to watch episodes 2 and 3 of this, and then I was like, I'm at like, I think at the time I was at like fucking 59 episodes, with like 10 days left or something, or not 7 days left, 6 days left. 6 days left. I was like, I'll add Tasokare Hotel episode 4 just to, round that up to an even number. And yeah, this is what happened. It was rough. We are also getting a little bit with Atari. It's revealed that he is very into music, which makes me think he may have been a member of the idol group that Neko was obsessed with. Oh wait, whatever. I'm still believing what I think. They also get paid, though I'm not sure how, by the workers at the hotel. I have no idea. As I said, I don't know how, but they get paid in something, which is good, I guess. But yeah, Masaki needs to fucking pay, and I really hope he does. He is a absolute scumbag at this point. just from like an episode and a half, he is a scumbag, and I'm glad the way he got injured / killed was he fell off a bridge onto like super sharp fence posts. That is the painful injury / death he deserved.
Oh, so he got gastoned.
Yes. Anyway, let us move on to our next show, which is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Season 2.
We're having a good time here, aren't we?
So we had the Clock Keeper's arc. As it turns out, Nene has not much of a
Less than a
lifespan
year
left.
to live, yeah.
Which I'm fairly sure Hanako has known the entire time. Obviously, Ko is just now learning it. And Ko is basically saying that he is going to defy fate, which sure will go well. Meanwhile, Hanako and Nene are just getting closer and closer. We had Nene kissing him on the cheek in episode 3, and then Nene getting sent into the past to 1964, where
Samurai Jack.
Technically not Hanako, Amane was there. Which was shocking and adorable. Amane was so goddamn tiny. Like, Nene is not the biggest person, and she was significantly taller than him. And yeah, cute ending to that one of Amane wishing to see Nene again, which obviously we know technically happened.
Yep.
And now we are back on track now. So episode 2. So basically, if I've just got the volumes here actually. So the Clock Keeper's stuff was the second half of Volume 5 and the first part of Volume 6. And then we had the Episode 3 stuff as well. And then, after that in the manga, the end of Volume 6 and basically the entirety of Volume 7 is the last arc that we had in Season 1. The stuff with Mitsuba and the mirrors. Which is why it was a little odd that Ko was thinking so much about Mitsuba at the start of episode 4, because technically the events of episode 4 was just after the Mitsuba stuff. Anyway, yeah, this is still really enjoyable. I have noticed, at least I think, Season 1 did a lot more of the sort of almost like comic panel cut-ins. that I don't think they've been doing this season. If certainly I haven't noticed them, which is
I haven't either.
quite interesting, I think. But yeah, Hanako-kun. Oh yeah, I've got a second screenshot for it.
Oh, I'm
Just-
not surprised.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. I mean, Hanako blushed so much after that.
Understandable, honestly.
But yeah. Where is it there? Gonna be interesting to see where we go from here.
I mean, I imagine it's probably just going to return to being in line with the manga.
I mean, yeah. Just depends what it's gonna be. I mean, obviously I know, but you don't.
I don't know anything. Or do I? Dun 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 dun.
I mean, you haven't told me that you've read the source material, so I'm assuming you haven't.
Correct, I have not.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's been a while. So I do need to reread more of it, but certainly I remember it's very interesting stuff. Very interesting.
Oh.
But we should move on to our final carryover, I believe, with
Yep.
tying the knot with an Amagami sister.
So, well, last core wrapped up with some details on Yai's backstory and revealing the fact that she is both adopted and going under a new name now. This core kicks off with an arc that basically just outright confirms that supernatural stuff happens in this setting.
Aight.
By trapping the protagonist and Asahi, the youngest sister, in a time loop, where they cannot escape the same week until Asahi finds resolves to pursue what she wants while still resolving to keep close with her sisters. But yeah, it is very interesting that the show has been building up the possibility of the supernatural angle for quite a while, and only just now executes on it, but it has been built up pretty well and pretty naturally, which is a much better handling of it than some other shows have done. But yeah, and now we're kind of in the transitory period between arcs where there's some, we got an episode that basically has Uri rededicate himself to both to aiming to be a doctor and also to do his best to help inherit the shrine, while also conspicuously not committing to any of the three sisters in particular. Despite getting incredibly close to Yai in the arc that flushed her out, and getting a kiss and confession from Asahi in the time loop arc. So, very interesting. Lots of shake-ups so far, and very curious to see what happens next. But we should move on to a show I have less positive to say about.
Moving on then to Übel Blatt.
I have dropped this.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it just got very janky with the pacing, and also with, just a lot of the stuff feels very clunky and doesn't really line up with doesn't line up isn't the right way to say it. It just hasn't really properly set itself up or explained itself. It feels like it's jumping around in a very jarring fashion. I don't know if it's just a matter of the adaptation being like this, or if it's a case of the source material. I'm inclined to believe it's the former, but yeah, it's just kind of a mess, and I was quite confused by the time I got around to episode 3. Oh, I know this is an adaptation. I'm not sure if it's okay. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to look into the details of how this got as messy as it did, if I get curious enough. But overall, I'm just not particularly happy with it, and if I do get curious about the series, I might go back to the source material, but otherwise I'm just not particularly invested in this.
I mean,
at this point.
It's a finished manga. It was published from 2004 to 2019. It does have a sequel, which has been ongoing since February 2024.
Huh. First I'm hearing of the sequel. Yeah, I knew it was completed manga, but I'm surprised it has a sequel.
I mean, it might be a case of the anime is meant to drive interest for the sequel. I don't know.
I mean, in that case, it would probably have to be a complete adaptation, which might explain it being compressed a bit, but at the same time, it's just kind of an incoherent mess.
I mean, 167 chapters apparently, 2004 to 2019, probably monthly.
Yeah.
Even then, 167 chapters is going to be hard. Even if it was weekly, 167 chapters would be hard to adapt in, you know, even
2 cores
even 2 cores, yeah, it would be a struggle.
Like, you'd have to adapt that across, like, 3 or 4 cores at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can get what the point of that philosophy, but, like, you should still try to make the best adaptation you can.
Mm-hmm.
Not, like, just say, like, oh, I did alright, but the manga should be the best form of the story. It's like, dude, you're trying to represent the story in this different medium.
Mm-hmm.
Give it your best shot. That's a disappointing mindset.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, just kind of disappointed with this. Overall, like, it's hard to thread the needle with dark fantasy, in fairness, but, like, this feels like kind of a waste of an interesting concept, at least in the adaptational realm.
Yeah.
But yeah, should probably move on to a much lighter fantasy show.
Let's move on to our penultimate show then, which is Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf.
The show is very cute and funny.
Yeah, it's very good.
I just the fucking reaction the librarian has to getting the Chan honorific.
Yeah. Also, Dragon Mom. I'm a big fan of her. She's very good.
I'm glad you like Dragon MILF.
Yeah.
She is indeed a very good character.
Yeah.
Are you alright? You sound a bit tired.
I'm recovering from being sick, so
Right.
I'm a little bit out of it.
But yeah, Marie is just continues to be very fun, and Kazuhiko kind of has some hack-ass abilities.
Yeah, I didn't watch the most recent episode, but I'm assuming it goes a bit more into that.
A little bit, yeah. He actually uses them in combat, and yeah, he's pretty handy with them.
I'm sure he is. Before he was doing that weird warp jumpy stuff. I don't know how that works, but
I mean, teleport spam is a hell of a thing. Just look at Nightcrawler.
yeah.
But yeah, it'd be very fun to see the Dragon Lady go to Japan.
I think that's what we're getting based on the ED.
I hope so.
Yeah.
She has quite the craving for sake and bentos after all, and what better place to get both?
That said, it would be very funny to see all three of them in one bed.
There is only one bed, the sequel. But yeah, this really cute and fun show,
Yeah.
as I said. Oh, the fucking bit with the earthquake, though.
Oh. So yeah, that happens, especially in Japan.
Yep. I'm kind of shocked she didn't recognize the earthquake, but at the same time, it was funny. Her reaction was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, also them just winding it up was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah. It's very cute, very fun, very solid reverse isekai. Yeah.
This is also one
I'm
of
fine with it.
the few isekai I've seen that kind of like pretty easily goes back and forth between worlds.
Yeah.
Nice change of pace.
Alright.
We should stop beating around the bush and move on to the final show.
Which is Zenshu. I've dropped this.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I watched the end of episode 3, and then I went and read the ANN review for episode 4, and just looked at what it said and what it was said happened, and just went, I'm just not feeling that interested. And part of the issue is that I like Natsuko. Natsuko is pretty fun, other than when she's engaging in the stereotypical isekai tropes. I do not feel the same way for the rest of the cast.
I don't really agree with that perspective. I find the rest of the cast pretty interesting, especially as it goes on and fleshes them out. I do also like how it kind of subverts things with Destiny and her whole thing. Like, her just realizing that she can make a difference on her own without,
I mean, look, Destiny roiding out was definitely made me wonder if I should give it another try, but I don't know.
I would recommend it.
I don't know.
And yeah, like the ANN reviews are not a holistic, actual exploration of the show.
No, they're
I
not.
hesitate
But
to say it's really reliable.
No, they're not. But they covered enough of the plot details for me to go, okay, that just doesn't really interest me. Like, the only thing that really interested me in terms of the plot was fucking Serval Cat Mask, and that's just because it was a wrestling reference thing.
I did figure you would like that, yes.
I mean, look, Serval Cat Mask, he's the second greatest luchador ever.
Yes. After Tiger Mask.
No, El Generico, thank you very much.
Serval Cat Mask is a reference to a wrestling anime called Tiger
I know,
Mask, that's why.
but El Generico is the greatest luchador ever. He looked after those kids in Tijuana for so long.
Okay, that's fair, yeah.
I'm making a wrestling reference nobody else here gets.
For a split second, I thought you were referencing Nacho Libre, but then I realized, no, you were definitely not referencing Nacho Libre.
I know the names of actual luchadors, so...
Yes. But yeah, I think episode 5 does some really interesting stuff, honestly. particularly with the introduction of Justice, who is a former member of Nine Soldiers. That's the dragon person with the sexy hair in the OP.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I do think that it is interesting, the exploration of, like, what causes people to become nihilistic in an apocalyptic scenario, and, like, the importance of giving them something to live for, no matter how ridiculous it may seem. Because that's the only way you can really break out of a nihilistic loop like that. Like, it may not be handled in the way that you think is the most, enjoyable for your preferences.
I want to make it very plain. I'm not saying this is a bad show. I'm sure it's a good show. It's just not working for me. And again, this is a season where I've got so fucking much on my list. At the end of the day, some stuff is going to fall by the wayside. And at the end of the day, same with Okitsura, those just were the two that I enjoyed the least out of my list.
I will say, this is probably the one I'm enjoying the most out of the new shows. Just because it is such a fun concept and very interesting execution on it. And, well, yes, I do think there are some areas in which it could execute things a bit differently. I do understand why it makes some of the creative choices it does. For example, like, we only meet, like, 4 of the 9 soldiers at the beginning, and we're later told that all the rest of them, save Justice, are already dead by the point the story gets to it. But still, really, it does it's a really good way of establishing the stakes of the setting and just how dire things are. I don't think it said explicitly that they were all dead, but it did show one of them dying, and it did say that the only ones who are combat capable were the ones that were left. But yes, I do also think that this has some interesting things that can say about creativity and how experiences affect what you can create, whether it's just through like actual direct experiences or just like by proxy. And it has some interesting stuff to just illustrate about creativity and how that affects the world around you. But yeah, like, this is just a really fucking good show. I know it's not to your taste necessarily, and I do actually find it kind of funny that despite how dry the season is, your list is still fucking loaded.
'Cause I've got like fucking 10 sequels.
There are a lot of sequels going on this season. That's kind of what overwhelmed me as well.
My Happy Marriage, Dr. Stone, Glue Box, Apothecary Diaries, Daima, Blue Miburo, Orb, Blue Lock, fucking Hanako-kun. That's like 8 of my fucking list.
I am actually watching more sequels and carryovers than new shows this season.
Like my list of new shows is pretty typical for my usual season. You know, sitting at around I'm sitting at 8 now, 8 or 9 now. You know, 10 or 11 before I drop stuff. It's just the fact that I've got so many fucking sequels. It's not like I can't not watch them. They're fucking good.
I'm not telling you not to watch them, man.
But it does mean that, you know, in a different season, maybe Okitsura would have survived. Maybe I would have given Zenshu more of a chance. But in this season, I just can't. I just will drown.
Again, I understand. I am also just saying, like, if you find the time to give this a second chance, I would highly recommend doing so.
I mean, it'll probably be high up on the list of shows I try just because there's not many other fucking options.
Yeah, that's fair. And you are correct. There are not that many other options this season.
I mean,
I think we are collectively already all watching all of the good stuff.
Yeah,
that is legally available.
In terms of new shows that I am not watching, there is Bureaucrat to Villainess. I'm just not that interested in another Villainess anime. There's been so many. And I'm sure this one is probably, from what you've been saying, this one is better than most of them, but still, I'm tired of Villainess animes, and I wasn't that high on them to begin with. Headhunted in another world. I don't need more isekai in my life. You fucking...
Same with Red Ranger, I assume.
Same with Red Ranger. You've fucking dropped Medaka Kuroiwa. I've dropped Okitsura. There's nothing else. It's Welcome to Japan myself, and again, I'm not that interested in it. You've dropped Übel Blatt. There's nothing else.
Like, I'm looking at the seasonal list, and most of the rest of the stuff that's available legally is just slop.
Honestly, at this point, if I'm going to pick up another show, which is unlikely, to be brutally honest, I'm looking forward to finishing Blue Lock so I can cross another show off my goddamn list. If I was to pick up another show, I would probably just pick up one I'd missed in a previous season. Maybe Shangri-La Frontier, I don't know.
That's a good show.
Shangri-La Frontier is very good. You'd have a lot to get through, though.
I know. I'm not saying I'd finish before the season ended, but yeah, just like, so much going on. Also, I'd like to go back a few conversation topics ago. What you were saying about ANN reviews. I'm fully aware that ANN reviews are not the be all and end all, and to be honest, I'm probably not going to read any more this season because the ones that I did read fucking annoyed me.
Oh yeah, like the Ameku ones, for example.
Yeah, that was the one that fucking got me. No. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Oh no.
You are entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is stupid.
Sometimes it needs to be said.
It was that bad?
They gave the most recent episode of Ameku 1 star.
They gave the last 3 episodes of Ameku like 1 star.
Why?
I don't know.
Like,
They just
genuinely
do not like it and say it's genuinely bad, which I do not agree with.
What?
Basically, they're saying, it's trying to be between like a detective show and House, but it's failing at both of them. And it's like, so fucking what?
Ow.
It's a mix of the two, and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also, House kind of is a detective show, so it's just trying to be House.
And
it is literally Anime House. That's it.
Also said, it's going too in depth on the medicine. I'm like, layman will struggle to understand the medicine of it. And I'm just going, I'm not exactly a doctor, but I'm understanding the medicine perfectly fine. Admittedly, that's because I'm spending 20 minutes. Because I'm spending 20 minutes researching shit, but I don't care. That's fun to me. This is part of the appeal of the show. I'm enjoying learning about the medicine.
Yeah, and I'm not doing any research at all, and I'm following along just fine.
Yeah,
I have a degree in like medical diagnoses to at least get the gist of what's going on here.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I just think I basically read the episode 6. I skimmed 4 and 5, and I just saw the rating, and I just went, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do any ANN reviews this season. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, no, I just like...
I don't need it.
Look, those reviews are hit or miss at the best of times.
I'm just gonna enjoy my fucking anime girl House, thank you.
Yes, exactly. But yes, back to the topic at hand, I do think that Zenshu is very good. I don't think it's gonna be for everyone, especially like with the episodes like changing in tone pretty substantially here and there. But, like, if you're going to give anything this season a second chance, I would say that this one is the most worthwhile.
Yeah.
But that goes for you too, Nmbr. I'm just saying.
I mean, I will...
Join me. Join me in this hell.
I will say, dub is really fucking good. Really enjoying the dub. or really enjoyed the dub.
Yeah.
It is interesting that Natsuko's power is working as fast at animation as Mappa wishes its animators would.
There is actually some interesting meta commentary on the nature of creation and animation in the show, which I find pretty fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Also, one last question before I think we should probably bring this to an end. If Yunio has sex, is it bestiality?
Look at the Harkness law. So, do you know the Harkness principle?
Yeah, I know the Harkness law. I suppose it depends on the definition of bestiality.
So, for those unfamiliar, the Harkness law or the Harkness principle, or however you want to say it, basically is if you in either form, basically a sex with a non-human entity is acceptable if the non-human entity is sexually mature for their species, B, capable of communicating with a human being, and C, both capable of giving consent and actually giving consent. That's the way to look at it.
I mean,
And the name comes from Jack Harkness from Doctor Who.
I'd still argue it's bestiality. Just because Yunio passes the Harkness law doesn't mean it's not bestiality.
Kinda. The centaurs are definitely fair game, yes. It's
like Yunio is still an animal, and bestiality is the act of having sex with an animal.
So if someone was married to Howard the Duck, would they be committing bestiality?
Yes. I'd feel sorry for them. Ducks have a corkscrew penis.
This is taking a very fun turn. But yes, again, I would recommend watching more of this, if only to see more of Destiny getting absolutely fucking swole.
I mean, yeah, I appreciate that at least. And I hope if she does get to fight later on, she is doing fucking wrestling moves.
Oh, absolutely. That's the hope. But yes,
yeah, I think that is everything for today. So thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Thank you, Meep, for commenting along in the stream chat. Always appreciated when we get people in the chat. In terms of future stuff, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Tomorrow should be D&D again, so look forward to that. Oh yeah, there was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference in Zenshu episode 2. I don't remember what the reference was.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
But I'm fairly there was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
Well, I'll see it when I watch more of that.
I think it was something like it's time to draw.
Yes, that's what it was.
That's weird because that's a dub reference, huh?
Well, Mel was watching the dub, so.
Oh.
I mean, they could have done it in the sub, did they?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it in the sub, so I'm pretty sure it was the dub.
Fair enough.
We'll see
I like it when the dub does things like that. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and all that YouTube stuff.
Like, subscribe, comment down below, and please press that bell icon.
And
also, I don't think we are doing D&D tomorrow because of the Super Bowl.
Oh, right, okay. Well, we'll figure something out, I'm sure. Otherwise, thank you again for watching, and hopefully we shall see you tomorrow for whatever it is we end up doing. Good night.
Later.
Bye-bye.